Unleash the fury! Crush them all! For honor and glory!
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Giving honor to the Most High God, His Son Yahushua. We are the battle axes of the Most High, coming to you with another great holy Shabbat class through the Spirit of the Most High God. We thank the Most High God for this 7-day Sabbath that He's given us, as well as His high holy day. And this is not an ordinary day that we are coming to you with on a class. Today will be the day of Simon, man of renown. It is a high holy day that the Lord gave the children of Israel to celebrate and put in remembrance our forefathers. So today's class is Day of Renown, Day of Simon. It's Day of Simon, man of renown. Mighty shalom to my brothers and sisters that are in class today, as well as brothers and sisters that will be tuning in online. Let's make sure that we get the Most High God His day, His time today. Let's make sure that everything is done for edification. Let's lock in, like Captain Ben and I just said, and let's make sure that we understand why we celebrate the day of Simon. With that being said, we'll start off with Sirach. Let's go to Sirach chapter 44. We'll start there. Day of Simon, man of renown. What does the word renown mean? Famous. It's another word for famous, right? Somebody that's on a higher level of stature, right? In this case, Simon and his brothers, right? And we'll touch on all this. They were men of renown, right? Today we're going into Simon, so it's man of renown, but we're definitely going to touch on his father, his brothers, and just give an account of how they did great works for the children of Israel. Right? First precept, Sirach chapter 44. We'll start from the top.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 44, and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Let us now praise famous men.
Let us now praise famous men. This is not talking about LeBron James, Will Smith, Day and Craig, anybody you can think of that's not in the Bible, right? This is not the famous men that we are praising. And this is what we have to do. We have to come up out of the ways that we were taught and now come into the ways which the Bible commands us. It says, let us now praise famous men. Men that are famous for what? Putting their lives on the line for the Most High God. Men that are famous for what? Keeping the laws unto death, right? Men that are famous for what? Being leaders of the household, of the congregation, of the family, right? Women that are what? Famous women as well, man. And guess what? We're in complete order, submission, humble, right? Modestly dressed at all times, right? These are the men of renown that we must put in remembrance. These are the famous men that we're talking about. We're talking about Isaiah. We're talking about Habakkuk. We're talking about Zephaniah. We're talking about Christ, man, right? We're not talking about these people in the world, right? This isn't a worldly praise anymore that we do. You know, we can hype up somebody quick, right? We'll hype them up real quick, right? Now we need to hype up the men of the Bible, right? Now we need to hype up these holy scriptures, man, right? Prophets that did great works and wonders for the Most High God, man, and for us today to be here. I'm going to tell you, the works that Simon did, hey, it accounts for us being a nation today, man, right? The works that his father did, Mattathias, Judas Maccabees, right? Jonathan, the works that they did, it's a reason and an account for us being here today, still being a great nation of people. Read that from the top again.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 44, and verse 1. Let us now praise famous men.
Let us now praise famous men. This is what we're going to do today. We're going to praise the famous men. Read.
And our fathers that begat us.
And the famous men come from the fathers that begot us, right? This is not, we're not praising no typhoon, no wicked men, right? No heathens, right? We're not praising none of that. We're not doing that at all, right? These are the fathers of the nation of Israel that we are praising, right? Read on.
The Lord had wrought great glory by them.
The Lord had did what?
The Lord had wrought great glory by them.
Like I said, if it wasn't for these famous men, we wouldn't be here today as a nation through the Spirit of the Most High God, right? The Lord has wrought great glory through some of these men throughout the scriptures, man, right? And that's why it's so pivotal that we do read, get into our Kings, our Chronicles, right? To see our Maccabees, to see the great stories behind some of these famous men or our forefathers, read.
Through his great power.
Through what?
Through his great power.
And everything ultimately is through the power of the Most High God. So these men became famous through the power of the Most High God, because without him, they could have not have what? Pushed and did what they did for the children of Israel, right? They wouldn't have had the great ability to put in the works that they did, right? Dying great deaths, right? Read on.
Through his great power from the beginning.
From what?
From the beginning.
And this is that same power from the beginning, man, right? This is the same power from Adam, man, all the way down to Cain and Abel to our sons of God, right? Seth. This is that same power that the Lord has given us from the beginning. Read.
Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms.
Such as did what?
Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms.
So these are great leaders that bear rule in their kingdoms, man, right? When you bear rule in your kingdom, you are looked upon at a higher stature, right? Right? You are looked upon as a guide. Or in the Bible, what does it call them in the Old Testament? Messenger, but what? A what? A seer, right? These men are those that you looked upon, and if you wanted to what? Do righteous acts, or if you wanted to be in complete order with the Most High God, these famous men were the ones that you looked upon and seen how they acted. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's all about seeing. What you see is what you do. If you were raised in a household of Catholicism, then guess what? You saw that. That's what you were gonna do. If you were raised in a household of Baptists, then you saw that each and every day. That's what you're going to do. Well, now the Bible is telling us to what? Remember these famous men, look and see their accounts so that we can start doing these now, right? Read it again, verse 3.
Verse 3. Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms.
Because I'm going to tell you, Simon had a great rule, right? Around the time of the Maccabean revolt, right? Maybe around 100 BC. I think 150, 160. We'll get into the dates. But they bear rule. Jonathan bear rule in his time, right? Mattathias, they bear rule in their time. These were great holy men that bear great rule, that were looked upon as being what? The guide for the children of Israel. Read on.
Men renowned.
Men what?
Men renowned.
Famous men renowned. What were they looked upon for? What were they talked about so much for? Why were they put on a higher pedestal? Why? Read.
Men renowned for their power.
For their what?
For their power.
So who gave us that power? Scripture just said it, right? The power is from the Most High God. They were renowned from that power that the Most High God gave them in order to put power into the nation of Israel, right? Men renowned for their power, giving what?
Giving counsel by their understanding.
Why is that so important? Because the Bible says do what? Nothing without counsel. So these were men that were powerful and also were great to what? Go and to talk to. If I needed to have a question or a problem, if I needed something situated that I couldn't come up with, then I would go to these brothers, right? Because they were great in understanding counsel, man. I'm going to tell you, it goes a long way, right? Even right now, man, when the Lord set up your captains, your officers, right? Your soldiers, right? He does that, man, for this very reason, man, right? These are your men of renown right now. Brothers going out there to put that work in on the streets each and every day, putting their lives on the line. These are men of renown, twin, right? Brother Bala, right? Both of the twins, right? Brother Renard, right? These are men of renown right now because they are what? Through the Spirit trying to what? Get a nation back to understand who they are. My God, right? Putting that work in, putting them bricks, brick after brick after brick, right? These are your men of renown today. Read on.
giving counsel by their understanding.
By their what?
By their understanding.
Understanding. We always know. What is another word for understanding? What? Wisdom, right? By their wisdom. We must get into wisdom, because wisdom is the principal thing, man, of life, right? These were men renowned for their power and for their wisdom through counsel. Read.
And declaring prophecies.
And doing what?
And declaring prophecies.
And also declaring prophecies, man, right? Putting you on the right path, right? Getting you ready for things that were to come through the Bible, through the Holy Bible, man, right? Read on.
Leaders.
What were they?
Leaders.
What were they?
Leaders.
These were true leaders, right? These were true leaders, right? It had been a long time that Israel had what? Leaders, man. And especially leaders that were what? Leading you to righteousness, right? You see all the accounts in the Bible, and you only see a few of the leaders that the Lord said did what? Did right in the eyes of the Lord, right? So when you get a chance to look at this account of Simon and his brethren and his family leading you in the proper way, we must get understanding on this. Read that 4 again.
Verse 4 from the top. Leaders of the people by their counsels.
Leaders of the people by their counsels. Read.
And by their knowledge of learning meat for the people.
And by their knowledge meat. Leaders were those that were knowledgeable of the scriptures, man. They were able to get you on the right path or the right track through the Spirit of the Most High God. Read.
And by their knowledge of learning meat for the people.
Uh-huh.
Wise and eloquent.
What were they?
Wise and eloquent.
Wise and eloquent in their what?
Oh, in their instructions.
In their instructions, wise. This was a wise people, right? This is a eloquent people. What does the word eloquent mean? Eloquent. It can go in many fashions. It can go into what? Well-spoken. It can also go into what? Beautiful, beautified, right? Eloquent, right? These were, in the spirit, beautiful leaders of the nation of Israel, man, right? Read that 4 again.
Verse 4 from the top. Leaders of the people by their counsels.
Uh-huh.
And by their knowledge of learning meat for the people. Wise and eloquent in their instructions.
Wise and eloquent in their instructions. That's the definition. Fluent, persuasive, speaking or writing, powerful, potent, right? Graceful, right? Effective, right? These are great words, man, right? Well-spoken, potent. I like that. Powerful, just like we read through the scriptures. Powerful, well-spoken, eloquent men, right? These are who we should be following, right? Let's go to the book of Sirach, let's stay in Sirach. Let's go to 33. Before we go there, Shalak, let's go to Judges 6 and 12. We'll come back to Sirach 33. Shalak and family. Let's go to Judges chapter 6 and verse 12. So leaders of the nation of Israel, man. Eloquent, well-spoken, powerful men, man. Right? This is what we want to talk about today with our brother Simon and his father and his family. Judges chapter 6. We're going to start at verse 12. All right. Well, matter of fact, just start at 11.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 6, and verse 11.
Bring it out.
There came an angel of the Lord and sat under an oak, which was in Ophrah, that pertained unto Joash, the Bezerite.
Yep.
And his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites.
Okay, read on.
And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him.
The angel of the Lord appeared to him and said what?
And said unto him, the Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor.
The Lord is with thee, thy mighty man of valor. The Lord is going to be with these mighty brothers, man. These leaders that we were talking about, these powerful, eloquent, well-spoken men, the Lord is with them. Like he said in Sirach 44, by his power, right? So the Lord is definitely with them. And this is a lot of what the famous men did for the children of Israel. Right? They put you in remembrance of things. They put you on the right track. Therefore, the Lord said that, guess what? I'm with these mighty men of valor. Read 12 again.
Verse 12 from the top. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him and said unto him, the Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor.
Thy mighty man of valor. Read on.
And Gideon said unto him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befalling us?
And this is a lot of questions that the brothers out at camp a lot. Well, if the Lord with y'all, why y'all still on the bottom? Why y'all still going through all this and that if the Lord be with you, man, right? We understand that the curses are on us, right? We understand that just because you're Israelite don't mean that you get salvation right now, right? And that's the whole point. You are still seeking salvation, right? Even in your troublous times. But Gideon had to ask the question, Lord, if you be with us, why so much heartache? Read.
And where be all his miracles, which our fathers told us of, saying, did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt?
Because the Lord did great wonders for us in Egypt, right? So they asking, where these great wonders? Why the Lord just can't flood the sea right now and flush out our enemies, right? Why he can't just send a great darkness upon the land on these, like our forefathers told us that he did, right? Read on.
But now the Lord had forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites.
This is a reason for great leaders, because this is a problem within Israel. We always went back into what? Egypt again. Our own minds. It's like we trusted in the bondage, right? We would rather trust in oppression than trust in the Lord, right? Giving us what? Bit by bit, piece by piece. Manna, like he looked Drake, manna, right? Drake. Nah, we don't want no damn manna. I don't want no damn manna. Right? But we always went back into this kind of thought process. Therefore, we always need leaders amongst Israel. Right? This has been the same process throughout the times, man. We've always had what? Great bringing out, basically what I'm trying to say, from the Most High God, and then we go right back into what? The same thoughts. We see great wonders by the Most High God in Egypt. We see great wonders of him doing these things to us and bringing us out of what? Babylonian captivity into the Persian Medes, making our enemies our footstool, right? But yet and still, we always go back into this kind of what? What's the word I'm looking for? Spirit. What? Can't even think of it. Struggle. And it's kind of like this struggle, right? We'll go back into this mindset. There you go. Good job. I'll praise it. See, I be doing that, man. So y'all can get ready in class. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
My mind be like, don't say it. I ain't gonna tell you what I'm trying to tell you because I want somebody else to say it. Go ahead.
Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18, because even like what Captain Yara is bringing out, I would say the reason our people fail as a nation is because we lack the vision. What vision? The vision of the Most High. When we receive the vision of the Most High from his seers or his prophets and apply those things to our everyday life, guess what? We seen prosperous times. But since we done went away from the vision of the Most High, that's why we're in, guess what? Disastrous times. Read this right quick. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse number 18.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 18. Where there is no vision.
Where there is no what?
Where there is no vision.
Where there is no vision. Read on.
The people perish.
Our people perish. Because what? We need to receive the visions of the Lord. What is one part of the vision of the Lord, twin? What is a part of receiving the vision of the Lord? That's right. One step is to keep the commandments. What's another one, Ezekiel? Yeah. Actually applying them, same thing. What's another one, Brother Bala? Israelite. What's another one? Twin. Quick on your feet. Quick. Need brothers quick. And those all go into the same thing. What about forsaking sin? That's one of the major ones. There's always a positive and a negative to each points of the scriptures. So when we stop receiving the vision of the Most High, that lets us know we started to do what? Go into sin. Read it again, up.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
And our people perish for what? For lack of knowledge. Because we don't want to apply what God say. That's why our people are in the worst neighborhoods, crime-stricken neighborhoods. Is hatred towards one another. We have all these different negative categories that we are listed in. Read on up.
But he that keepeth the law.
But he that do what?
But he that keepeth the law.
Read on up.
Happy is he.
That's why Christianity press so hard on what? God's laws are done away with. Because they have literally brainwashed our people from what? From not literally trying to see the visions of the Most High. Through what? Through us not keeping his commandments and steady continuing in sin. Go ahead, Doc.
Become great precept, because a vision, in order for a vision, what is another word for vision? Sight, which we just talked about. So when it says there was no vision, where there was no what? And who had the sight? The leader. So there was no what? There were no leaders, right? When there is no vision, when there's no leader leading you and guiding you to the promised land to righteous works, you're not going to do it, right? Like they said, you had Martin Luther King. Did he lead you to the law? Did he lead you to the Bible? No. Malcolm X. These were so-called leaders, but did they lead you into the site that you had to be in? Let's go to that 1 Samuel and get that. We've been talking about it.
Because Martin Luther King, he told us, what did he lead us into?
A burning building.
A burning house. He literally straight up told us what he led us into.
Yeah. So there was no vision because there were no leaders, righteous leaders, man, right? Read this 1 Samuel 9 and 9.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 9, verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer.
Let us go to what?
Let us go to the seer.
Read on.
For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer.
So the vision is by the leaders or the seers, right? In old times they were called seers because it's your eyes, man, right? The Bible says that what? Eyes that cannot see, right? Yeah, sure, you're walking and you can walk, you can see where you're going, but are you really seeing where you're going? Because you're headed for what? Destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. But we can't see it. Why? Because we had no true leaders guiding us into the path where we should go. We had granny and grandma and granddaddy talking about what? Yeah, you better get up and go to church, right? On Sunday, right? You had mom and dad in there smoking bud, so guess what you do? You go out there 12, 13 years old and what? You gonna roll up you one, right? Smoking bud too, right? But there were no true leaders guiding you into the right places. No vision, no leaders, right? Let's go back to
let me get another precept.
Go ahead. Quick, go ahead.
Let's go to the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 9, verse 29. Second Chronicles chapter 9, verse 29.
This is the book of 2 Chronicles chapter 9 and verse 29.
Uh-huh.
Now the rest of the acts of Solomon, first and last, are they not written in the book of Nathan, the prophet?
So we know that Nathan was a prophet. We know that Nathan had a book out there. Should we break our necks to try to find it? No, we have what we need to make it to the kingdom. Read on out.
And in the prophecy of Ahijah, the Shilonite, and in the visions of Adu, the seer,
and in the visions of Iddo the seer. So these particular prophets gave us visions on how and which way to go. Read on up.
The seer against Jeroboam, the son of Nebat.
Against the seer, against visions of Idol, the seer against Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. What you have, Idol, well, he's the grandson of Zacharias. So y'all make sure y'all want to put that there too. Zechariah chapter 1, verse 1. But the point that we're making, I have to look into that. The point that we're making is that they always receive the visions for these prophets on which way to move. Even like you said, he was seen against Jeroboam in the vision of Nebat. So we see how this prophet particularly gave them that visions on how to move during that time. Go ahead, Op.
Big Con, let's go. Let's go to that Sirach 33. Start at verse 7. We have to understand that I know we know this precept, but certain days are not just regular days or ordinary days like today, right? It's not an ordinary day. It's not just a regular day. We have 7-day Sabbath as well as we have day of Simon. So this is not an ordinary day. This is a glorious day that the Lord gave us, and we should have understanding on that. Sirach 33 and verse 7.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Why doeth one day excel another, when there's all the light of every day, and the year is of the sun?
Read.
By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished.
By the knowledge of the Lord, days were distinguished, right? By the knowledge of the Lord, these days were distinguished. Why does one day excel another when all these days, 24 hours, right? You have 12 hours in the day, 12 hours in the night. Next day, same thing, right? 12 hours in a day. But by the knowledge of the Lord, these days were distinguished, right? Read on.
And he altered seasons and feasts.
And he altered seasons and feast, right? In this account today, right, we're touching on a high holy day where we were to gather together, right, and feast, right, and have a good time in the name of the Lord for Simon. By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished. So this is not just an regular, ordinary day, right? We know coming in here on the 7-day Sabbath, this is not an ordinary day as well. You should be living Sabbath to Sabbath, right? Sabbath in, Sabbath out. You should be letting the Sabbath from this week guide you to what? Lord willing, the Sabbath for the next week, right? Because the Sabbath is a great day that the Lord gave the children of Israel to come together, right? He commanded us, Zephaniah, come together, gather together, or what? Nation I desire. We go out into these jobs, we're not desired, man. Even like we said in the class today with the building, whatever the case may be, they don't desire us. They don't come here and say, well, you know what? Y'all doing so much of a great job. F the CO. We're going to help y'all get it. None of that, because they don't desire what we teach, right? They don't desire what we do, right? Because a lot of people look at you like, oh, they think they better than us, right? They think they better than us. When scriptures say what? Keeping the commandments, you are, right? Oh, they think. No, we don't think, right? Through the scriptures, we are. What's the precept? Give me a precept. Keeping the law, you are better. It's simple. You want Proverbs 12 and 26? I want what? I want Psalms. I like that, and I also like what? Psalms 111 and 10. All right, we can get all these. What you say, Proverbs 12 and 6 out? All right, let's get to it right quick. Let's see what Balai got, man. We're looking to show, remember the point, we're trying to show that we are better by keeping the commandments of the Most High God, right?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 26.
Bring it out.
The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
A great precept, man. Just that first line already hit home. Yes, definitely. In the face. You got the right one, baby. Read that again.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, and verse 26.
Bring it out.
The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. Now the question is, well, who are the righteous? What is the righteous? Y'all sound like y'all ain't sure. Deuteronomy 6 and 25. Righteousness or righteous is those that what? Keep the commandments. Right? So the scripture says the righteous, those that keep the commandments, is more excellent than his what? His neighbor. Who is your neighbor? What you got, sis? We'll go to that. We'll come back to it. Sister Lane want to start she want to give precepts now, right? Look, they sisters want to go to camp today. I already know it. The sisters want to go to camp, man. See, that's Captain, I got one for you. Got you. Make sure you give it to me, so we're going to get it. We're going to get it for you after class. We're going to definitely get it. But the Bible says that the righteous, those that keep the commandments, is more excellent than his what? His neighbor. Another question. A lot of questions through this scripture. Who is your neighbor? It's more. It's a little bit more. Right? Leviticus what? 19, 17, 18. What else? Your neighbor, if it's your neighbor, it's your what? Your brother, right? Right, so you can go into the Ezekiel, right? Ezekiel 11.
But remember, Ox, certain verses have qualifying statements. What is the qualifying statement that you need to qualify in this verse? That is what? How many types of neighbors are there? Brothers and sisters have to always remember that. It's two types of neighbors. I repeat, it is two types of neighbors. Karatazar, what is one type of neighbor? Your nation. What is the other one, twin? Yeah, the other nations. Remember, it's two types of neighbors in the Bible. You have the neighbor of your own people, and you have the neighbor of the other nations. Remember, Job 11 and 6, they are double to that which is. It's two types of enemies in the Bible, two types of neighbors in the Bible. These things go double, hand in hand. So what is this one referring to?
It comes. So this is a great precept. Let's read Proverbs 12 and 26. Again, make sure y'all highlight this precept, man. This is a great precept.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 26.
Bring it out.
The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
So the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. Those that keep the commandments compared to those who what? Read.
But the way of the wicked seduceth them.
Because the way of the wicked will seduce them, right? The way of the wicked will seduce that neighbor that is not what righteous, right? You're going to all kind of different things, right? Going to folly, going into different doctrines, right? Well, what did you have out, Ezekiel? Let's go to Psalm 119 and 100. And guess what? This is what the leaders, the true leaders, this is what the Maccabees, this is what they did. They pushed to get the laws back into the nation, man, right? To pray back to the Father, to put in remembrance the good works and the good acts of the Most High God and the Lord, right? This is what the Maccabees did. I tell them all the time, Judas Maccabeus the hammer, his greatest thing was putting us in remembrance of our laws, man. And his brothers as well, Jonathan, Simon. They did great wonders by putting us back into remembrance of our laws. Right? Read this, Psalm 119 and 100.
This is the book of Psalms 119 and verse 100. I understand more than the ancients.
I understand what?
I understand more than the ancients.
Said I understand more than the ancients. Read.
Because I keep thy precepts.
Because I keep thy precepts. I understand more than the aged, the older man. When we tell the older man, they come out there, y'all young punks don't know what y'all talking about. Yeah, we do. Old school. Matter of fact, God done failed us, man, right? Right, it's going to take for this nation right here for us to build it back up. to push this truth, because the righteous are more excellent than what his neighbor, right? Go to Psalms 111 and 10. Just precepts waking us up. Like I said, we're gonna be doing a pretty good piece of reading today, so get our precepts in right now to get an understanding. Psalms 111 and 10. I mean, by default. We love to say that, hey, by default. If you in Christianity, by default. If you ain't keeping no commandments, by default. Read it. No, he is.
This the book of Psalms, chapter 111.
Psalm 111 to 10, my bad out.
This the book of Psalms, chapter 111, verse 10.
Bring it out.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
Read on.
His praise endured forever.
So by default, this is a by default scripture. If he that keeps the commandments has a better understanding than he that is not keeping the commandments, that means that you're better, right? That's exactly what that means, man, right? Make sure y'all write all these precepts down, man, to show. Make us a side note, yeah. Those that keep the commandments are better, right? Let's go back to Sirach 33. Verse 8.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33, and verse 8.
Bring it out.
By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished. And he altered seasons and feasts.
So seasons and feasts were altered by the Most High God, right? This is a feast, right? A day of celebration, right? A day of remembrance, right? Read.
Verse 9. Some of them had he made high days.
Some days had he made what? High days, right? Not your birthday. Not, oh, I'm going out of town. We finna take a trip. We on a boat. I'm on a boat.
Not Mother's Day.
Right.
Or Father's Day, too. It's just not a shot at the sisters.
Sister's Day, Brother's Day, right? Child's Day. They got all this. Right? It's just so much. Tree Day, Make-A-Wish Foundation Day, all kind of stuff day. Right? It's just any day you want to put on it. This is what the heathen do to get you out of sight of what the Most High God said. Some days he had made high days. Today is a high day. Right? What? 2 times. Today is a high day times 2, right? Because you have a 7-day Sabbath and you also have the day of Simon, right? So some days have he made high days, right? It ain't just because it's Sunday. Sunday ain't no high day. It don't matter what they want to say, right? But Saturday, the 7-day Sabbath is, right?
That's right.
And what?
Some of them had he made high days and hallowed them.
And hallowed them. What does the word hallowed mean? Separated, right? He put them on high, right? He separated these days. This is a day of separation. You must understand what Simon did for the children of Israel today, right? And that's what a commandment. Read.
And some of them had he made ordinary days.
It's just an ordinary day. It's not today. But a lot of days are ordinary days. If it's not a feast of the Lord, if it's not a high holy day of the Most High God, it's an ordinary day. Sunday is an ordinary day, right? Unless a feast day falls on what? Sunday. That'll make it a high day, right? But tomorrow, Christians going to church, it's just an ordinary day, man. Right? There's more power in you coming and celebrating the 7-day Sabbath today. There's more understanding in the 7-day Sabbath than there is Sunday, a regular day, an ordinary day, right? Read on.
Verse 10. And all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge, the Lord had divided them and made their ways diverse.
So the Lord, our ways diverse. And we'll be able to see that when we start reading. We'll be able to see how the Lord made even the people or the nations of the earth diverse, right? Read on.
Some of them had he blessed and exalted, and some of them had he sanctified and set near himself.
Read.
But some of them had he cursed and brought low
Uh-huh.
and turned out of their places.
So the Lord is saying, I'm making a difference right here. And it's what I want to do, right? It's not what you feel, what you think, but I set some people up to be closer to me, and some I pushed away. Read.
As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best.
To render to him as like it as best. Let's go to First Maccabees, chapter 2. To render him with like it as best. The Most High God set us up from the beginning, right? The Most High God preordained this world, and the Lord said, I'm going to make certain people to do the things that I like it as best, right? Some of those people we're finna get into now were the Maccabees, right? Better known as the Maccabean Revolt. Let's go to First Maccabees, chapter 2. We'll start from the top.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 2. Verse 1.
What time frame are we in right now? The Greek captivity. What years? What about what time is this? Yes, but the Maccabean revolt was a little later, right? About 170, 160. Make sure. I was just gonna say, make sure you put that. Well, I tell you the truth. I tell you. So this is around 170, 160. We already know the Greek captivity started around what? 333. But along that time frame, because there's still a time frame that you must incorporate and put in and insert where things happen, right? It started around 333, but you know how the Most High God did when he put nations over us and they took over. It started in a certain time frame and it gradually extended, right? Until the fall of it, right? So the Maccabees are revolting now or stepping up around 170, right? This is the famous men that the Lord has set up at this time to come and render great works for the children of Israel, to be these true leaders, right? Read this.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John.
So around, in what days? Around what? 170 BC, right? In those days, read.
In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simon.
Simeon.
Simeon.
Uh-huh.
The day of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joarib from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin.
So what did we catch in that precept? We see a what? A lineage. What lineage or tribe were the Maccabees from? They were Levites, right? Why? How do we know? They were priests. The priests, right? The son of Simeon, a priest of the son of Joarib, right? From Jerusalem and dwelt in Modin. So this was a Levitical bloodline of Mattathias and his sons, right? Read on.
And he had 5 sons. Joanna called Cadis.
Jonan called Cadis. Read.
Simon called Thassi.
Simon, which nickname was Thassi. Read.
Judas, who was called Maccabeus.
Judas, who was called Maccabeus.
Eleazar, called Avaran.
Uh-huh.
And Jonathan, whose surname was Epaphras.
So we see that Mattathias had 5 sons, right? And we finna read into it. Read on. Let's read down.
And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, woe is me. Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there. So
Mattathias said, man, woe is me. My countenance is fallen. All I'm seeing is the children of Israel, what? In servitude, right? At this point in time, we were Hellenized. So now we were going after what? Greek gods and other idols, right? So Mattathias, it was put on him through the Spirit of the Most High God, where he's saying, am I just alive to see my nation be destroyed, be wrought? Read on.
When it was delivered into the hands of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers.
Into the enemy and strangers. We got to be able to look and see these words. This is wordplay. The Greeks were enemies. So how, when we get into now Galatians, now you're trying to say, well, the Greeks, when they were all called enemies, so make it make sense. If it's the Jew and the Greeks, but the Bible says that they were enemies, this was just what, 400 or 500 years prior, right, to this time frame. Then how are they enemies? But now they are what? Getting salvation with y'all? No, can't do it, right? It says enemy. It said sanctuary in the hand of strangers. How many strangers are there in the Bible? 2 strangers. What strangers were this? The heathen, right? They were always called and portrayed to be as strangers, man, right? Right. And around this time, you had what? Alexander the freak, right? Coming, right? You had his 4 generals, right? But Ptolemy, you had all these heathen coming around us, trying to what? Keep us on a docile state of mind, right? Read on.
Her temple is become as a man without glory.
And this is Mattathias, right? Through the Spirit, he's saying the temple has become as a man without glory, right? Nobody's fighting for the laws anymore. Nobody cares about our nation anymore. Nobody cares about the Most High God. We all just going through the motions, right? When I used to, when I coached, I hated, or what I hate is for children to just do the drill and just go through the motions. So what are you doing this drill for? I don't know. You're just going through the motions, man. You out here celebrating Greek gods and Greek customs and fashions, and you don't even know why you're doing it. Why are you doing it? I don't know. Because my mama did it. Because my other forefathers did it. I've been seeing everybody else do it. Right? So we get into that, like we always say, complacency, right? And then we don't even care. This is what Mattathias is saying. He said it's like a man without glory. You don't even care. Where's your glory? Step up, right? Read on.
Verse 9. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets.
Who are those glorious vessels? Israel, right? Because we are the vessels fitted for destruction, right? We are the ones that are destroy and break down these idols and these barriers that are not allowing us to grow, right? As being a nation. Read.
Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy.
And this is exactly what was happening right around this time. We were being slain, right? Right before our brothers and sisters' eyes, man, right? Remember, go back to 1 Maccabees chapter 1 right quick and read, start at 48. It was either you got down with their laws, Greek customs, or what? You got laid down, man. Right? We couldn't at all profane to be Israelites around this time, right? Read 1 and 48.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 48.
Bring it out.
That they shall also leave their children uncircumcised.
Uncircumcised meaning what? Not knowledgeable of their laws, of their nationality, not going back into doing their customs. This is what uncircumcised mean. Read.
It make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
Read on.
To the end they might forget the law.
To the end that they might forget their law. Read.
And change all the ordinances.
And that's exactly what happened. This is why Mattathias is saying this right now. We was a great nation of people, right? Now we done forgot our laws. We forgot who we were. We forgot our God. Read.
And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
And if you did not, you were to die, right? Remember the mom with the 7 sons, right? Slain in the streets, right before our enemies, man, right before our people. If they did not consent to do the ways of the heathen at this time, Greek fashions, you were what? Slain in the streets. Go back over to 2 and read verse 12 again. Nah, well, you read 10.
Yeah. This is the book of First Maccabees.
9.
Yep. Verse 9. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 9. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets.
Read on.
Her young men with the sword of the enemy.
Her young men with the sword of the enemy. Our children slain in the streets, man, right? This is what happened. Read on.
What nation had not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?
And this is the problem, man. The Bible lines up. This is why they don't want you to read your apocrypha, right? Or they took it out of the Bible, because it directly shows you that it lines up with everything that the Bible says. Enemies. We are still in enemy territory right now, right? They are still out and never, nowhere. You see this 400, 500 year gap, right? From our Persian Mede captivity until Greek captivity. You see this gap, right? But they don't want you to see what happened in between this gap. Right? They don't want to see you in this Greek and show how the so-called white man rose up. That evils were multiplied. Right? The Bible shows you within the prophets, right, that there was a lot of enemies that we had. But now you get into the Greek captivity, the Bible said that now these evils that we had from our enemies, they are now multiplied.
So even like what Captain Yara is going over, that's why when brothers and sisters read the book of Galatians chapter 3, verse 28, like he was saying, since because you don't have this history, you don't have no understanding, or more importantly, context. Context is key. You just can't read that. And that's what brothers got to start posing to them when they bring that up. Well, what is the history behind it? What is the context behind it? Because we don't read about the Greek captivity per se, what they would say, what is the Bible? So where is that history found? You have to start posing these questions. Go ahead, up.
Because that's exactly right. Let's keep reading.
Verse 11. All her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman, she has become a bond slave.
Of a free woman, she has become a bond slave. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Israel as a whole. We're talking about the nation, right? Let's go to Galatians right quick. Con. We'll start at 22. Make sure y'all write these precepts down. It said, what did it say? Of a free woman, she's become a bond slave. Read Galatians 4 and 22.
This is the book of Galatians chapter 4, verse 22.
Bring it out.
For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman.
So it shows you, right? Who was the bondmaid? Hagar, right? Who was the free woman? Sarah, big con. So we see that Mattathias is putting in remembrance his mind that guess what? We was the ones. We was the free. We weren't born into us being just servitude, right? We were born of the free woman, right? Read verse 26.
Verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free.
So when we use this precept, right, we normally use it for placement of landmass of Jerusalem, right? Which saying it is above Africa, right? But the Bible now shows us understanding to see that Jerusalem is above. We are what? We are the free. We are the above. We are the ones that should be on top. This is our kingdom. But Jerusalem, Israel, which is above, because Mattathias is saying, well, we're on the bottom now. But scripture don't say that, right? We are above, which is above is free is the what?
Which is the mother of us all.
Because we run this world, man. We should be running it, right? The mother of us all. We are those people. We are that bloodline, that chosen lineage. So you see Mattathias, what he's put in his mind, right? How we are now looking like we are the bond servant, right? And not born of the free woman. Let's go back to Maccabees.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 11.
Bring it out.
All her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman, she is become a bond slave.
Uh-huh.
And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it.
And the Gentiles have profaned it, right? Gentiles have profaned. So now you're looking into the Gentiles in this. Who are the Gentiles that profaned it? These are the heathens, right? Now you're going into the Greeks, right? But you see how it got to be context, got to have contextual understanding in it to see it. These Gentiles now, yes, they profaned it. How they profaned it? By bringing their own laws and their own idols into our sanctuary, man. Think about it. They used to bring their idols into our place of worship and sanctuary, man. Wicked, man. Straight wicked. Jump down to 15.
Verse 15. In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city Modin to make them sacrifice.
To make them what?
To make them sacrifice.
To make them sacrifice of what? Idolism. Read on.
And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together.
So Mattathias what? And his sons came together as well, right? So now Mattathias is what? Building a rapport with his sons that, hey, we about to revolt, right? We're not finna keep going into this. We're not finna keep laying down, man. We ain't finna keep laying it down, man. Just giving it. I don't know what you're doing, man, right? Yeah, we're not finna keep laying it down. Read on.
Verse 17. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise, Thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren.
Read on.
Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done, yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards.
Like the heathen do always, man. Like we always do at this time, right? They always go for theirs. So now they want to what? Hype Mattathias up. Oh, you're such a great, strong king, man. You and your sons. Man, we want to glorify y'all, man. We want y'all come on and start doing the command because what, like we say, monkey see, monkey what? You are the leaders right now. Y'all done stepped up into that leader role. So if they see the leaders going and what? Submit, bow down to this thing, it'll be a lot easier, right? But at the same time, they're using what? Flattery words, right? Trying to get you, oh yeah, you're so strong, you're so big. Hey, big guy. Touching him on the shoulder, touching his muscle. Man, don't touch me, man. You're a strong guy, ain't you? Hey. Read on.
Verse 19. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice.
What did Mattathias do?
Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice.
Read.
Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers and give consent to his commandments.
Read.
Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
So Mattathias put it down right there. Hey, I don't know what y'all thinking. I don't know what y'all think this is. I don't know who you think I am. I guess you think I'm finna lay it down like everybody else. This ain't 8-Ball and MJG over here. Right? This is not 8-Ball. We not bumping that in this Cadillac, right? So Mattathias made that decree right there that me and my sons, we're going to follow in the covenants of our fathers, right? And he said he spoke with a what? What kind of voice?
Loud voice.
A loud voice. I wonder where he got that from. Where you get that from? It's from our fathers. It's through the Spirit. Go to Matthew right quick. All praises. You in the Spirit, huh? Because it's the same thing that our beloved King Christ spoke, how he spoke, man, right? Say he spoke with a loud voice, not just I want y'all to hear me back there. That's why we go out to camp and they be like, why you talking so loud? Because it ain't just for you. I want them to hear it way back there. That's why the Bible say cry loud, right? He's what? Mattathias is saying we go stay in covenant and we go use scripture. Scripture say cry loud. I'm for the cry loud right now, right? Read this.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, and verse 28.
Bring it out.
And it came to pass, when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine.
So I bet them heathen was astonished, man. Right? How he spoke to them, man. Spoke as a leader, man. Right? When we out there and we telling people who we are, man, you speak with pride and great dignity, man. That's right. You speak as one as I don't care what you're talking about, right? Man, I be at the job trying my best not to. Hey, well, won't you just go on and tell me? I say, look, y'all, I'm not gonna lie to you. This conversation can go there. And I don't want to be the one that go there. So what's the difference between the Hebrew? Hey, man, I just told you. It can go there. Well, we adults. All right, well, then let's go. I'm telling y'all, this just happened the other day. I'm at a new school. Right? So now the child that I'm watching, he's left for the day. Now I got two ladies come in, and every day this one lady come in, she pisses me off because I know she's a full-fledged Christian. Guess what she say every day? Greetings and salutations. Man, shut the hell up. Man, shut up, man. This ain't no church. This ain't Christian. We ain't in Christianity in here, man. Y'all might be over there, my desk over here, and this ain't no greetings and salutation area over here, man. Because I know, shalom, right? I'm in my Bible. I take my Bible to school every day. I'm in my Bible. I'm letting them talk. I don't got time to deal with y'all. I'm not here for y'all. I'm not here for friends. I'm ready to get my chick, get out of here. The little boy gone. I got a free day, basically. Principal say the little boy leave, you chill, right? You need somewhere to go. Hey, y'all praise it. So I'm in my Bible. They start talking about, cult and this and cult that. All right. Yeah, and cult this and cult that. Come on, man. 20 minutes they in there just straight culting me up, right? I know who y'all talking about. I'm right here. Right? But it can go there and we can take it there. So, yes, now you want to ask me questions? All right, well, darn it. You got it. I believe in the whole Bible. We keeping the commandments. Christians don't. Half of y'all say that the laws are done away with. The others say there's 2 commandments. Make it make sense, right? I'm on one accord with the Bible. Well, that's the Old Testament. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I ended it with this. So where did Christ teach from? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. But don't ask me questions because it can go there. Like Mattathias said, with a loud voice. Read that again.
Verse 28. And it came to pass, when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine. For he taught them as one having authority.
As one is having authority. I am authorized by the Most High God, right, to speak to you as I may. Now I'm wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, right? Need my little gig and my little chochos, right? But I'm authorized. Don't forget, it's the authority is from the Most High God, right? Read that again.
Verse 29. For he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes.
So when we be these leaders, when we're out here being that true light, have authority with that light, brothers and sisters, right? Not telling you to go to your job and say anything to anybody, wipe now. Don't do that, right? Because your situation is not my situation, right? And mine is not yours. We move through the scriptures. We move wise, right? Subtlety. We have that on us. But when you out here and you're keeping these commandments, keep the commandments with great authority, man. Sisters, y'all walk with your heads high, man, right? Right, and don't let anything break or put your countenance down, right? Brothers as well, man. You walk high, chest out, man, right? Because you have that authority to do that, man. Right? Go ahead,
Because even with bringing out the history with Christ, with Mattathias, where do brothers think that they were pulling that from? Let me see what brothers is thinking. Remember, when we ever bring up historical accounts, brothers have to kind of look forward or before to where brothers think that they were pulling those particular scriptures. So the first thing we focus in on, context clues. What did Captain Yard brought up first? How they what? How they spoke what? Now, what precept in the Old Testament tells you that? Isaiah 58:1. We need to put bruise in that context, in that mindset. Give me Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. As even like Ak made a great point. When Christ was teaching the Bible, what was he teaching? The Old Testament. So everything that he quoted, the parables that he quoted, is fundamentally from where? Old Testament. Now, where brothers is getting their study habits up to where you can precept it properly, that's on brothers. Because Bruce have brought out many classes. Have we went through every single parable? No. But that's where brothers individually reading comes in, to where you're able to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Read this right quick.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, and verse 1. Cry aloud.
Do what?
Cry aloud.
The Bible tells us to speak loud. Speak as one having what? Authority. Read on up.
Cry aloud. Spare not.
And don't spare anybody's feelings, man. We have to tell it what it is. Now, it's a time and a place, and it's a season to do that. And brothers and sisters want to make sure that they use wisdom within that on all fronts. It says, spare not. Read on up.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
A trumpet is a very loud instrument. Read on up.
And show my people.
All people.
My people.
And show his people. Christ's people are the Israelites. Read on up.
Their transgressions. And the house of Jacob, their sins.
That's what we're commanded to do as a nation of people, is to show our people what they are doing wrong according to the Bible. Brother, you going to church on Sunday? No, the Bible say the Sabbath. Brother, you celebrating these wicked holidays, Mother's Day? It says no. Keep the feast of the Lord. The Bible outlines those things. Go ahead, Up.
Because I'll praise it. So, like we said, you're lining it up, precept upon precept. This is the main thing that Christians can't stand that we do, man. Is that we go, and I'm gonna tell you, I was thinking about it the other day. You have Bibles like mine, right, and many other Bibles. What's inside that Bible within the text? Precepts. So you'll go to Deuteronomy and look. I can look down and it'll have a precept that's in what? Acts. That's in 1 John, right? The Bible right there showing you that it's precept upon precept. But what the enemy doing? No, that's not how you read. No. Why you got? Say it again. You're cherry picking. Brother, ain't no cherries on this tree. I ain't got no cherries in my hand. This is what the Bible commands you. Sometimes you just got to hit them and just tell them, make it make sense. Why would the Bible have precepts inside of it, Old and New Testament, right? Some of the same Bibles that they have. Just got to make it make sense. Let's go back to Maccabees. So what are we going into right now? We're going into, before we get to Simon, it's a trickle-down effect. We get into his what? His father. Right? And to his father. Because, like we say, once you see these acts coming down now, you start what? Want to do the same acts, right? So, yeah, we got to get into his father. We got to get into that whole lineage and see what's going on. Let's go back to Maccabees, first Maccabees 2 and read 19 again.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 19. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him.
Because I'm going to tell you, the Greeks were a great nation at this time, right? They were subduing many nations. Right? It wasn't just the children of Israel. They were subduing many nations at this time, right? Read on.
And fall away, every one from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandment.
Read on.
Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
In the covenant of our fathers. So like we said, Mattathias put it down right there, right? It's going down. Read on.
God forbid that we shall forsake the law and the ordinances.
God forbid. He said, God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances, man. And that's the spirit that we got to be in, man. That's why it's so heavy of Day of Simon, because that's that spirit that you want to be in, man. You want to be, hey, God forbid I go back into the ways of the world, man. God forbid you catch me on Sunday at Rebuke Chicken and Waffle House of the Lord. Yeah, they got crazy names, don't they? I dare not. Mattathias said, God forbid I go back into that way, man. And that's the same spirit that we got to have on us so that we can endure to the end. That's the only way we're going to endure to the end, brothers and sisters. That's why we bring up these classes every Sabbath that we have, every time the Lord gives us the command to bring it, we got to bring it. Because they were put in great remembrance of who they were. And it started with Mattathias, the father, right? Read on.
We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left.
So Mattathias said, we're not teeter-tottering on this thing at all. We're not even playing the game, right? I'm not clocking in, right? Well, you work today, you work in idlism. Well, I ain't clocking in, right? He said not to the right or to the left. Read on.
Now, when he had left, speaking these words.
Hold on real quick. Let's go to Sirach 30. Yeah. All praise. Let's go to Sirach chapter 30. We're going to come back. Hold your precept. Because Mattathias is putting it down, right? For he's showing his sons what's going on. Right? He's basically charging his sons right now by showing them how he's acting, right? This is what the Bible talks about. This is what Sirach 30 is saying. Start at verse 1. We'll start from the top.
Right, chapter 31.
Bring it out.
He that loveth his son causeth him out to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end.
So first of all, when we have our sons, right, you don't hide that rod from them, right? Correction is key. It's very heavy and important, right? Sons and daughters, man, they gotta have that correction in front of them, and you have to be that leader. You have to be that guide. You have to be that light. Read.
He that chastiseth his son shall have joy in him.
Chastising your children is joy, right? Let's see.
And shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance.
He's going to rejoice among them. Let's see why. Read.
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Because when you grieve the enemy. Enemy is seeing now that young son, what? Keeping the commandments. They see him now going against their ways, right? Read on. Belt time. Yeah, I like that. Belt time.
BTA.
Read that 3 again.
Verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
I'm gonna tell you, and just think about it. You have a hard time even chastising your children in your own house right now, right? It's crazy, but this is another part of the heathens. What ways to keep you down? You better not put your hands on that child. That child called corrective services on you, and you tell him what corrective services? Go get his bag, cause he going with you. If I can't correct him, then he going with you. Then Bible say otherwise. Go ahead. You got something out? Oh, okay. Read 3 again.
Verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall be rejoice of him.
Right. They tried to say, I'm telling you, just like Joe Jackson. Shoot, they tried to say, yeah, Joe. Yeah, they tried to say he was a Batman. Shoot, Joe had them children in order. Why you think Michael was so smooth with the move? Mike got that hitting, like, there's no correction coming if he don't. All right, and that's how we got to move, right? We got to be smooth in these commandments, right? Smooth in keeping these laws. Joe Jackson, go get me. Y'all know who my dad is? Y'all know who my father is? The Most High God is my father. And if I'm not correct on every step and doing what I got to do, bill time, right? Correction. That's just how it goes, but they don't want you to correct your children, right? They want.
We don't know who Michael that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, is that? Lord.
That's him.
Mike, he should have been getting a belt right there. After he did that, Joe should have been belting the mess out of his butt. You know I'm gonna get you when you get home, right? When you go, what's the name of his house? When you go to Michael Land, we go back to Michael Land. I'm on your right. So, but you grieve the enemy when you put correction in your household and your family. They don't want you to do that, right? They want to give the children all the power. He hit me, right? Well, now I sure did. Why? Read this 30 and 3, Sirach.
Verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
So you see that the way that Mattathias is moving right now, the enemy is already gonna be what? Upset. By Mattathias telling the enemy this, now they are what? Upset, because he's grieving the enemy, because he's telling them, me and my sons, we are not going against our commandments. Read.
Verse 4. Though his father died,
Right?
yet he is as though he were not dead.
Because when you put your sons and daughters to the charge of this thing, man, they make you proud because they do the same steps that you put into and instilled in them. Read.
For he had left one behind him that is like himself.
Yeah, and that's what the enemy say. Dang, when you got a leader in the household, you got a father in the household, now he's going to be raised up and he going to want to be a what? A father in the household too. We can't let that happen. Wait, this nigga want to be a dad? He want to be a father? He want to be in the house? He want to take care of his children?
Yes.
You mean he don't want to step out and just go on down the road? That grieves the enemy, man. Right? Read on.
While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful.
And when he died, he was not sorrowful. And then I'm going to tell you, all the brothers, they did a great job at that, man. Right? When one died, the next one rose up, right? They weren't sorrowful. Hey, let's get it. We saw how dad put the works in. We going to put the same works in. Read on.
Verse 6. He left behind him an avenger.
He left behind him a what?
An avenger.
An avenger. The Lord looking for avengers, man. And it starts with us right here. Showing the youngsters, right? Us being those vessels, going out there doing right by the Most High God and by our children, by our families, and now setting up the next generation to be avengers, man, right? Well, like we said, that's where they get these movies from. Where you think they get the Avengers from, man? That's us, right? Read on.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
Against his who?
Against his enemies.
Against his enemies. They know when you charge your sons and your family that they are going to be the same avenger to the next enemy, right? That's how we call out. Call these Edomites, man. Call these heathens, man. BS, man. I call BS, man. Y'all same people. Y'all the same ones, right? Read on.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends. Jump back over. Let's go to First Maccabees. Let's go back. Read verse chapter 2 and 30 and 23.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 23.
Because I'm gonna tell you, right when you're doing good, what lie to the door? Sin right there. Piss y'all. Read.
Verse 23. Now when he had left speaking these words.
Just got through talking real loud, didn't he? In a loud voice, right? Crying aloud. Letting y'all know what's up. Read.
There came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar, which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment.
Here come one of the Jews, man, that want to sacrifice, man. Coon, right? Read.
Which thing, when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal.
And it made him mad, man, right? Wickedness ought to make you mad, man, right? Seeing your brother and sister sin, it ought to make you feel some type of way, man. Read.
And his reins trembled. Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment.
Guess what? It was so bad on him, he couldn't even hide it. You look at somebody's face, you know they, man. We're like, what's up? What old boy tell him in Friday? You got that look in your eye. What's up, baby? What's up? You can't even hide it. Know something wrong with you. He couldn't hide it. He was so upset. Read.
Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
He ran and did what?
And slew him up on the altar.
Because, man, I'm going to tell you, a lot of times you're going to have to get away. You're going to have to do away with some people, man. Right? You're going to have to do away with them, right? They're going to constantly what? Provoke your spirit. Right? Sooner or later, man, mama, I love you, but I'm going to throw my hands up at you. Because you see my face? Look at my face. I'm upset. And you know it, right? And before I do something, I'm about to go on and get away from you. That's what the Bible says, right? Let's go to Romans real quick. We're going to have to separate ourselves from family members that are not in this truth, friends that are not trying to keep these commandments and get down with these laws, partners and homies that still want to kick out. Yeah, well, I'm down with the movement, you know what I'm saying? But let's go hit this blunt right quick, man. Let's go now, bro. I gotta get away from you, man. Go to Romans. Let's go to Romans 12. No, not 12. 16. That's right. I'll praise it. Romans 16 and 17, family. Appreciate it, bro.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 16, and verse 17.
Bring it out.
Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
You got to mark them, and you have to avoid them, man. You got to mark them as what? People show you who they are every day, and you don't believe it. You don't believe it. I'm going to show you who I am every day by my actions, by who I am. But you're like, nah, that ain't who that ain't you. They go rob a bank. Got all this money. They show you who they are. Where you get that money from? Oh, man, hit a lick. What kind of lick? Y'all found it. Yeah, right, brother. They show you who they are every day. People show you who they are, and the Bible says you have to mark them and avoid them because they're not going to be good for your spirit. It's what Mattathias said. He had to mark them. When he marked them, yeah, he marked them. He didn't just mark this dude. He got him up out of there. That's one less problem we got to have, man. Right? Through the spirit, we know that the Most High God is going to endure that to our brothers and sisters, man. Like we was talking about one of the dudes that be talking about he debunking the Israelites, right? You know what I'm saying? Had some heartache in his family, right? The Most High God is going to do that, man. Right? So what we need to do is make sure that we stand on the other side and we make it very clear, right? You draw a line in the sand, brothers and sisters. You have to.
Let's get that second precept real quick. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. And as brothers is bringing out the precepts, Captain Yara, I need Bruce to be on point, thinking of other precepts that y'all can link up. I need brothers to minds to think on a manifold level. I know we kind of always go into this, kind of need Bruce to kind of be thinking upon precepts to be able to do what? Add and to give more edification. Read that right quick, Art.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship had righteousness with unrighteousness?
It says, be not unequally yoked with unbelievers. You believe, and you dealing with your sister or your brother that don't believe. Hey, you still love them, but guess what? You can't be around them as much as you would like. That's what brothers and sisters have to learn to start having discipline. Read on up.
For what fellowship had righteousness with unrighteousness?
Meaning you striving to keep the commandments, and they don't give a damn about the commandments. How you can sit here and just say that you really just want to be with them? Come on, man. That means that you love brother or sister more than you love the Father. Read on up.
And what communion had light with darkness?
And what communion had light with darkness? Read on up.
And what concord had Christ with Belial?
So we see what accord have Christ with the devil. Talking about none, man. Go ahead, Op.
Because let's get another precept. Let's go to Sirach 27 and 12. Well-known precepts, but we make sure that we got these things, right? If you don't, make sure you write them down. All right? Because we have to be an observer of the times, man. Right? The Bible speaks on that, man. You got to understand the times. You got to know what time it is, man. All right? Even if you ain't got no watch on, you still got to look at your wrist and be like, yeah, it's time to go. Yeah, it's time to put these commandments on fully, full-fledged, right? I need to be on go. I need to stop playing. I need to stop dibbling and dabbling. I need to stop going teeter-tottering on this damn bench, right? I need to stop being lukewarm, like the Bible speaks of, and I need to understand that the time is now, man. Read this.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 12.
Bring it out.
If thou be among the indiscreet, observe the time.
It's time to observe it, man. Observe what the time is right now, man. Gas is 4 something. Observe the time. Wars on the brink. All you better observe the times, man. Right? Read on.
But be continually among men of understanding.
But you want to be around men and women of understanding, man. Right? Your circle needs to change. Again, your circle needs to change. And it got to be profitable for your spirit. Your circle needs to change into that what profits your spirit. Something that what not hinders your spirit, but something that's going to elevate you to the next level, man. You need to be continually around brothers that what? Know the precepts. Brothers that what? Are known for be great readers, right? In the Bible, studiers, right? You want to be around them brothers. You want to be around sisters that's what? In the Bible, tough, right? That's precept up. Your circle got to change, man. This is what Mattathias said. He put everything off to the side. Hey, man, you wicked. You're not for this. Then you're against us. By what? By default. By default. All right. Let's go back to. I want one more. We in 2 Corinthians, right? Y'all still there? Go to 10 and 6. 2 Corinthians 10 and 6. We just left 6. And 4, I know, right? Yeah, that's how much gas is, an arm and a leg. It's ridiculous out here in these streets. Yeah, you looking for any other dollars you got in your pocket. Hey, I know I ain't the only one to go throw that straight 20. You know, I got that big truck. Let me get 20 on pump 6. Now I'll be like 20. I'll be like, let me get 23. Let me get 2360. See if I got some change. Let me get 2360. I'm trying to get whatever I can up in that thing. It's tough out here in these streets, man. It's an arm and a leg next. You ain't got it? Give me your arm. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 10 and 6.
This book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10.
We'll start at verse 5. Salakia, fam. We'll start at verse 5. We'll read 5 and 6.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 5.
Bring it out.
Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
So we are trying to cast down the imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself. This is what Mattathias is saying right now. Hey, you trying to exalt yourself over us? Nah, I got a God that I serve that's way better than your God, right? So casting down these thoughts and imaginations and every high thing. Read verse 6.
Verse 6, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience.
And this is what Mattathias had. He had a readiness to do what?
To revenge all disobedience.
To revenge all disobedience. I just spoke with a loud voice. Here you come, brother, trying to what? Offering sacrifice in here with the heathens. Right? I'm ready to avenge all disobedience. And that's what we got to do, man. That's what the Father, you don't think the Father ready? Yeah, he's ready to avenge disobedience. You want to keep being disobedient? You want to keep going into that situation, the same person? I got something for you. Read.
When your obedience is fulfilled.
And guess what? When you're at your peak, when your obedience is fulfilled, I'm going to tell y'all, that is a heavy precept. Because when you are at your best, when you are keeping the commandments, I'm talking about you down 4 flats, you really in the spirit. You are in the spirit. Disobedience ought to have you just like Mattathias. It should have you just like that. If you're not, then it's a problem. Because when your obedience is fulfilled and you see somebody straight like in your face doing God knows what opposite of what you've been building on for yourself, yeah, it'll piss you off. It ought to piss you off. Right? To the fact that's what it did with Mattathias. Let's go back to First Maccabees. So verse 6, having a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled, man. We're going to get a little bit more on Mattathias and then we're going to move on. But got to get a few things. So Mattathias was inflamed. He slew the man. We ain't got time to play these games no more. Read verse 27. First Maccabees 2 and 27.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 27.
Bring it out.
And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
And that's what we asking, man. That's what the Father said, right? Father said, I'm looking for fishers, right? Yeah. Who ready to fish men? Right? Said put down. He told the sons of thunder, hey, put that down. Leave your father. Come on and let's catch some men, right? Let's be fishers of men. Put that down right there and follow me. Straightway. They did it. That's what we got to do, man. We got to get on the ball, man. Straightway. Like I always say, man, come on, hit it. I need you to get it, right? Straightway. He said, follow me. If you ready to keep the commandments, first of all, you just seen him knock somebody off, right? So that's gonna teeter-tot your mind, like, these niggas ain't playing. This big dude, cause we know he had these. Hey, this dude right here ain't playing. So now follow me. Yeah, let's go get your mind right. Like, yeah, I need to follow this brother, right? Yeah, this brother he ain't no joke. Right? So that's what he's saying. Read 27 again.
Verse 27 from the top. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice.
With a loud voice again, right?
Saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
Whosoever want to keep these commandments, want to avenge the disobedience, want to stand up for the Most High God, they want to keep the laws and be a true light to the Gentiles, follow me. Come to Battle Axe. You don't want your heathens all in the video dancing. Come to Battle Axe. Come to IUIC. Come to WFI, right? And that's what he's saying. You want to be zealous of the law? Come on, let's go. Heathens out here playing games. They out here sacrificing idols, man, in the temple, man. I'm observing the time, man. Right? Come on. Jump down to verse 42.
Verse 42. Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians who were mighty men of Israel, even all such as were voluntarily devoted unto the law.
So here you come. They seeing the works that Mattathias is doing and what he's talking about. I'm gonna tell you, they had to make a decree to what? Go on and start fighting on the Sabbath because the heathen they were slick, right? Yeah. Nah, we not laying it down no more on the Sabbath either. We go out to go on and hit them because that's one thing that they tried to play on us. They knew our laws. That's why we tell you today. The heathen know our laws. They know what we do. That's why they put pork in everything. That's why they got all these hidden words and stuff because they know our laws. Just like they knew then, right? They knew it. They knew what the laws was. So we had to go on and make a decree to what? We're going to fight on the Sabbath now. We ain't laying it down on the Sabbath no more, right? But 42 says they came there with the company of the Assyrians. These were voluntary, devoted men of the law. Read.
Verse 43. Also, all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them and were a stay unto them.
So everybody who had fled persecution, as well as with Judas Maccabees, as well as with Mattathias and his sons, right, they are coming. Read.
So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger.
So guess what? It wasn't just the one dude, y'all. It wasn't just Mattathias killing the one dude. What did they do? They smote sinful men. Yeah, they put in work. It was a revolution. It was revolution, right? Yeah, it was revolutionaries out here. Yeah, we not playing no games. Yeah, we finna start smoting them. They did what? Read 44 again.
Verse 44 from the top. So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger and wicked men in their wrath. But the rest fled to the heathen for succor.
But you still got them other ones. Hey, we gonna roll with the heathen, man. That's cool. That's cool. Just know that the wrath is coming. Y'all getting the next, right? Jump down to verse 51. All right, and I want 52. So
Go to that Isaiah. Precepts. Isaiah chapter 28, verse making a covenant with the heathen. Remember the context. Remember the context. Making a covenant with the heathen. 28:15. Read that right quick.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, and verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death.
With who?
With death.
With death, meaning the other nations. Why is it a covenant with death? Because when Christ comes back, he's destroying the nations. And if you are aligning yourself with them, well, that's what you get as well. That's according to Proverbs 11 and 21. Though hand join in hand, guess what? The wicked would not go unpunished, man. And if your hand is with that wicked, guess what? Your hand is probably getting chopped off too. Read on up.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death.
That's what our people do all the time when we align ourselves with different religions or different, guess what? Theological beliefs that don't line up with the Bible. That's what we are doing. Read on up.
And with hell are we at agreement.
And with hell are we at an agreement. Hell in the Bible consists of what? Just being on a lower level, in captivity. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Not some place where you burning, getting stuck with a pitchfork with a man in a red suit. Read on up.
When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us.
So they thinking that they're safe, aligning themselves with the other nations. But the Most High God said, no, that's not the case. Read on up.
For we have made lies our refuge.
For we have made what up?
Lies our refuge.
Our people are caught up in the truth because they don't believe what the Bible is saying. When they're aligning themselves with the other nations, they think that the Bible is coming out as a falsehood and a lie. Read on up.
And under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
And that's what our people, just because we comfortable in lies, then the Most High God is saying what? Stay there on. Read on up.
Verse 16. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation.
Read on up.
A stone, a tried stone.
So he's giving us the answer to that solution. You have to have Christ as your foundation. Christ taught the law. Read on up.
A precious cornerstone.
Just like Maccabees is setting a what? A foundation for the generations to come after him. Mattathias. Read on up.
A sure foundation.
Read on up.
He that believeth shall not make haste.
Go ahead, up.
because great precept, man. Right? Let's go back to First Maccabees, man. Heavy precept, man. They have made a covenant with death, man. All right, that's what they did. You want to go back and still run with the heathen after you done seen Maccabees and this army knocking them off, disrespecting our God, and you still do? Yeah, you just made a covenant with death. That's what you did. That's what you chose. Go to First Maccabees 2 and read 45. I wanted to read a little something.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 45.
Bring it out.
Then Mattathias and his friends went round about and pulled down the altars.
And did what?
And pulled down the altars.
That is our job, brothers and sisters. As we are now set up to be these vessels for destruction, we have to go and pull down these altars, man. We have to take these strongholds out of our nation, man. That means you have to be what? An Israelite 24/7. That means you have to be a true light around the clock. Can't take no time off. That you have to put in this work for Israel. They went around about destroying the altars, man. Read.
And what children soever they found within the coast of Israel, uncircumcised, those they circumcised valiantly.
So the children that were not uncircumcised, they what? They circumcised them, right? They gave them the understanding, right? They what? Baptized them with these laws. Yeah. We finna start back getting on these laws. Yeah, I know y'all ain't know about this because guess what? The children, all they know is what they've been born into, which was what? Greek customs, right? So now when they circumcise the children, they baptize them with what? The laws. Now they show them how they have to move, right? Show them what they have to do, right? It's I'm gonna tell you, the scriptures are heavy because they do a lot. It's like the same thing how Christ took us into the Most High took us into the wilderness and did what? Purged us off, right? For that next generation, right? To show them that's what they're doing right now. But what he's also doing is what? Raising up a child the way they should go. So when they are old, they won't depart from these ways. Read 47.
Verse 47. They pursued also after the proud men, and the work prospered in their hands.
Jump down to verse 50.
Verse 50. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
He said, be zealous of the law and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers, right? That's what this is about. Go to Romans 12, man. We're out here being that sacrifice, man. This is what he just charged his sons to be. He charged his sons to be what? A living sacrifice unto death, man, right? Romans 12 and 1.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
This is what Mattathias just charged his sons, man, to be a living sacrifice. Read.
That you present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Read.
Holy.
Holy, set apart. Read on.
Holy, acceptable unto God.
Acceptable to God, man. We always want to make sure that whatever we are doing it and aligning that it be acceptable to the Most High God. That our works, that our actions be acceptable to the Father, right? That's what we all should have that in our minds, right? When I'm doing something, is this acceptable to the Father, right? Read on.
Which is your reasonable service.
And he said that's our reasonable service. That's the same thing Mattathias telling his children. Go to James chapter 5. Verse 10. No, they like, dang, this is dead Simon. What you show on Mattathias? Because that's where it starts, man.
That's right.
We building a nation, man. We putting fathers back into the household, man. We trying to put families back together. We trying to promote marriages, man. That's where it starts. The foundation starts with the father, man. Right? The same way our foundation is within Christ, to keep the commandments the same way is the father in the household, man. That's why we harping on Mattathias so much, because that's where the foundation starts. And now when Simon comes abroad, he doesn't teeter-totter to the left or the right, because he was charged and being who that was by what he's seen his father do, man. Read this.
This is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 10.
Bring it out.
Take my brethren.
My who?
My brethren.
Take my brethren, read.
The prophets.
The prophets.
Who have spoken in the name of the Lord. For an example.
For an example, man. Let this be an example to us, right? Let us start being fathers and charging our sons and our daughters, man, our households, our families, man. Take the prophets. Take Mattathias, Jonathan, Maccabees, Simon. As what? Read that again.
Verse 10 from the top. Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering affliction.
For an example of how to suffer and what? Continue and push on, man, right? Same thing Romans 15 and 4 says. Remembrance, right? Put you in remembrance. Let's go back to 1 Maccabees 2 and 51.
And of patience.
And of patience, man, right? Because we got to have great patience, especially in this time right now, man. Right? You want to go knock somebody out like Mattathias did, man, right? But the Bible says you got to have patience, man. Right? You got to be patient in this thing, right? Let the Father work. 51.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 51.
Bring it out.
Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall you receive great honor and an everlasting name.
Call to remembrance the great acts of our fathers, man, right? And that's what we're doing today. We're calling to remembrance Mattathias, Jonathan, like I said, Maccabees, and of course, Simon, right? Read 51 again.
Verse 51 from the top. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall you receive great honor and an everlasting name.
Why would the Bible say to call to remembrance these acts, man? Right now in this present time, because these are the acts that we got to have, man. Mattathias and then went against the heathen, declined to make any covenant with them. These are the acts that we got to have today. Christians can't see that. Why? Because they don't, I don't subscribe to the Apocrypha. We don't care. I don't care. I'm finna read it. I know it's canon. Well, you can't just, I don't care. I tell them all the time. Right? This is what the Bible says that we have to do. Remember the acts of our forefathers, and we got to go into the same ways. Right? We can't be like, oh, well, you know, man, yeah, we go bring the heathen in with us. No, Mattathias didn't. They died for it. He charged his sons and went off and started knocking out people that were going into that way. You want to be with them, we're going to knock you out too. These are acts that we got to have. Jump down to 64.
Verse 64. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall ye obtain mercy.
So now, you know, before Mattathias is dying, he's what? Charging his sons, saying, well, before, wherefore ye my sons, be valiant, and shew yourselves men. Show yourself a real man. Stand up. Right? Be a real man out here. This is how you become a man, right? Fight for your lives and your laws, right? Read that again.
Verse 64 from the top. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall ye obtain glory.
Jump down to 67.
Verse 67. Take also,
jump down to 67.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law.
Who need to be in your circle?
All those that observe the law.
All those that observe the law. Like I said, you can't have your partner. Oh yeah, man. You know, I'm down with what y'all about, man. I hear y'all. I'm listening. But yeah, we finna hit the club. We finna go right now. Nah, it can't work that way. That's why the Bible talks about, can two walk together except they be agreed. We have to agree on the same thing. He said, he charged his son and said, take them that observe the law. Go ahead.
And I'm going to tell you, man, this thing gonna weigh heavy. This also goes for brothers and sisters that claim to be in the truth. I need brothers and sisters to meditate on that. You got certain brothers that are claim to be in the truth, but you see that they don't have what? A real pattern of good works. And we see that, guess what? Sometimes brothers and sisters are really not trying to change their works. That's something that you have to, guess what? Note and mark in a brother or a sister as well. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Because this is to them that know the law as well. Hey, we have to keep a hindsight on that, man. Go ahead, Op.
Become, read 67 again.
Verse 67 from the top. Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people.
And avenge your brothers and sisters. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but each and every one of you are avengers today. When you're reading, trying to get as much understanding as you can to show our people, we are trying to avenge what they did on our people, right? We are the avengers today, man. We ain't looking at Captain America and Catwoman and Catman and Batwoman and Batman. Yeah. Catman, Batman. We ain't worried about none of them because we are your true avengers today. We are trying to what? Avenge our nation from the decayed state that we've been in by heathen, man, by the heathen. So we are the avengers today. It said, avenge the wrongdoing of your people. Read.
Verse 68. Recompense fully the heathen.
Nah, halfway.
Recompense fully the heathen.
The heathen need to get the fullness of their recompense. When we go through the scriptures, they are getting what they deserve, right? Not half. No, we go tell them forget it. We just gonna let them forget what they did to us. No, it's not what the Bible says. They get fully recompensed. Read.
Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandments of the law.
Read on.
So he blessed them and was gathered to his fathers. And he died in the 146th year, and his sons buried him in the sepulchres of his fathers at Modin. And all Israel made great lamentation for him.
And Israel made great lamentation for Mattathias when he died, man, right? Because he did wonderful works for us, man, right? Jump back up to verse 65.
Verse 65. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel.
So now he's charging his sons. He said, I know your brother Simon. He's going to be a man of counsel. What is he telling his sons to do? Read.
Give ear unto him always.
Give ear unto Simon how long? Always. Read.
He shall be a father unto you.
And man, that's heavy. A father knows his children, right? And if he's really there, he understands the patterns of Simon showed Mattathias that Simon would be a father to them forever, man, right? Showing them that he would be a great leader for them, right, while he was gone. Read.
As for Judas Maccabeus, he had been mighty and strong, even from his youth up. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
So he's charging them because, like you said, he's from the past, but he's giving them the understanding. He says Simon is going to be your leader. He's going to be a father to you. Jump over to verse 3 and chapter 3 and 21.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 21. But we fight for our lives and our laws.
Because that's what we're fighting for, not just our lives, right? But we're also fighting to keep our laws too. Because we couldn't even profess to be Israelites at that time, right? So they had to fight for that. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to fight for those laws and our lives as well. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 9. So we're going to get into a little point now where Judas Maccabees, is coming upon his death, right? And you're going to have Jonathan and Simon. Let's read verse 19.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 9 and verse 19. Then Jonathan and Simon took Judas, their brother, and buried him in the sepulchre of his fathers in Modin.
So now Judas has finished being that avenger, right? And now he's passed on. So now Jonathan and Simon are up next. Read.
Moreover, they bewailed him, and all Israel made great lamentation for him, and mourned many days.
Read. What did they say?
Saying, how is this valiant man fallen that delivered Israel?
So they made great lamentation for Maccabees, right? Judas Maccabees. And how does this great man, they, because the Bible speaks on making lamentation for them as they are worthy. When you put in great works, the scriptures speak on what? Making great lamentation for them that are worthy. Go to Sirach, not 40, 38. Is it 38? 38 and 16.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 38 and verse 16. My son, let tears fall down over the dead and begin to lament.
Read.
As if thou hadst suffered great harm thyself.
Because like the children of Israel did, it's like they suffered great harm themselves when Judas Maccabees passed, when Mattathias passed, right? Because that was a leader that we looked upon, right? As how we should justify our lives. Read.
And then cover his body according to the custom and neglect not his burial.
Read on.
Weep bitterly and make great moan and use lamentation as he is worthy.
As he is what?
As he is worthy.
We made great lamentation for our the Maccabean revolt as they were worthy, man, because they put in great works for us, right? So this is what the children of Israel are saying. Go back to 1 Maccabees chapter 9. So the children of Israel are moaning, lamenting for Judas Maccabees, who has now passed away. So now we have Jonathan instead, right? Let's jump over to verse 40. Because now we have Jonathan that has arose, and now he is a leader of Israel at this time, right? Read verse 40.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 9 and verse 40. Then Jonathan and they that were with him rose up against them from the place where they lay in ambush, and made a slaughter of them in such sort, as many fell down dead, and the remnant fled into the mountains, and they took all their spoils.
Because now we got Bacchides, right? We got another wicked heathen, man, right, coming upon us, right? Jonathan has taken the realm, right? Now he has taken over, and now he is in charge. Read.
Thus was the marriage turned into mourning, and the noise of their melody into lamentation. So when they had avenged fully the blood of their brother, they turned again to the marsh of Jordan.
Read on.
Now when what you say now?
Bacchus.
Bacchus heard hereof, he came on the Sabbath day unto the banks of Jordan with a great power.
Remember, look how they always try to attack us on what? The Sabbath day. But remember, Mattathias had already made the decree that what? We was going to start fighting on the Sabbath day. So, yeah, cancel that out. Read.
Then Jonathan said to his company, let us go up now and fight for our lives, for it standeth not with us today, as in times past.
So Jonathan is saying the same thing. He's what? Putting the brothers and sisters in remembrance. He's what? He's basically what? Exhorting brothers and sisters to fight for their lives and their laws, right? Read on.
For behold, the battle is before us and behind us, and the water of Jordan on this side and that side. The marsh likewise and wood. Neither is there place for us to turn aside.
So like Jonathan said, ain't no time to try to get up out this thing now. The battle is before us and behind us. We've been going through this for a while now, right? We are now within this revolt. Remember what the Lord has done for us, right? Ain't no turning aside, right? Let's go to Hebrews right quick, 10. Yeah, the battle is before us and behind us. We're right in the middle of this thing now. Jonathan is saying we can't afford to what? Try to like teeter-totter now and do away now. We in this thing. We here. We right where we need to be, right? Hebrews 10 and 23.
This is the book of Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 23.
Uh-huh.
Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised.
Like he said, let us hold fast now our profession without what? Wavering. Ain't no time to waver right now. We in this thing. We full-fledged into this battle. Read on.
And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together, as the manner of some is.
But what?
But exhorting one another.
This is the greatest attribute I feel for the Maccabean revolt. They exhorted one another, man. They made us feel like we could knock down anything, and they didn't make us feel like it. They brought the scriptures to show us that we could. Right? Let us exhort one another, man. We got to keep exhorting our brothers and sisters, man. Hey, sister, you can win, man. We can win. Every situation that happens and occurs, hey, we can beat and defeat brothers, man. Let's keep pushing, man. Right? Time is getting short, but we got to keep pushing and got to keep being strong in the spirit like we are. Jonathan said the battle is before us and behind us. We right in the heart of this thing, brothers. That's the exhortation that we got to have, man. Read on.
And so much the more.
And so much the more as we what?
As ye see the day approaching.
Because the days are approaching, man, right? So now we see Jonathan in charge. And what, like I said, the best thing they put out for it was exhortation. Jump down to verse 32.
What, Maccabees?
Nah, Hebrews. We still at Hebrews 10. Read verse 32 for me.
Verse 32. But call to remembrance the former days, in which after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of affliction.
What does it mean that you were illuminated? That's right. That the Most High God would. The Most High God would got you out them situations, right? You were made light more. Now you have more understanding, right? But call to remembrance the former days in which you were illuminated and you endured a great affliction, man, right? That's what we got to do. That's what they did for us. That's what the brothers of Maccabees did. They called to remembrance everything that we had went through, right? Let's go back to First Maccabees, but let's jump to chapter 11. Go to chapter 11, verse 20. We on Jonathan right now, right? We just giving a little rundown before we get to Simon, right? So now Judas Maccabees is passed. His father Mattathias is passed. Now Jonathan is taken around 11 and 20.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 11 and verse 20. At the same time, Jonathan gathered together them that were in Judea.
So our leaders always gather the people together, right? That is a heavy thing. Read.
to take the tower that was in Jerusalem, and he made many engines of war against it.
So I mean, we were the smartest, man. We were the greatest. He made engines of war, man. Right? A lot of different tools to help us in this situation. Read.
Then certain ungodly persons who hated their own people.
Read that again.
Then certain ungodly persons
Who did what?
who hated their own people.
I'm gonna tell you, that's exactly what we're going through today, man. It's a lot of ungodly persons that hate us, man. They don't. They. It's not that they don't want to hear it, y'all. It's that they literally hate us, man. They hate you. They hate him. That what? Rebuke it in the gate. Amos 5:20, man.
Who could name one famous coon that just made a decision sometime this week, last week? Who can? Y'all keeping y'all ear to the streets, man. Clarence Thomas, man. Gutting the rest of the voting rights. So we know that he's a famous coon out there, man, that hate their own people, man. Go ahead.
If y'all don't have that, put Amos 5:10 for Galatians. First Maccabees 11:21.
Boy, I thought you were going to say if y'all didn't have that, put Clarence Thomas right there.
Remember, I always put Clarence there, man. Who did that, Clarence? Shoot. Look, who you can't trust a Negro named Clarence, man. Come on, man. How many people you know Clarence, huh?
Hey, man, his real name is Clarence.
Hey, his real name is Clarence. All right, no, we can't deal with that. But Amos 5:10, because they hate him, their rebukes in the gate, right? They hate you for trying to do right by your nation, by your people, right? By your family, man. Oh, so you a bad father, so you want me to be a bad father. The nerve. Right? The nerve. So I got to be a bad parent because you a bad parent. They hate that, man. Read First Maccabees 11:21 again.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 11, verse 21. Then certain ungodly persons who hated their own people went unto the king and told him that Jonathan besieged the tower.
And they go and telling on us. That's what they do. I'm telling you, that's what they do. I'm telling you, it's just like with the CO and everything, man. That's what they do, man. They go and try to tell on you, man. People that just hate you. Right? Read on.
Whereof, when he heard, he was angry, and immediately removing, he came to Ptolemy and wrote unto Jonathan that he should not lay siege to the tower, but come and speak with him at Ptolemy in great haste.
Nah, don't fight. Nah, let's just go talk about it. Let's see if we can come up with an agreement. Right? Let's make a covenant. Read.
Nevertheless, Jonathan, when he heard this, commanded to besiege it still.
Hey, yeah. Jonathan said, we gonna besiege it. We still got, we still finna get down. And we gonna show you why. Read.
And he chose certain of the elders of Israel and the priest, and put himself in pearl, and took silver and gold and raiment and diverse presents besides, and went to Ptolemy unto the king, where he found favor in his sight.
Read on.
And those certain ungodly men of the people had made complaints against him, yet the king entreated him, as predecessors Shalaki had done before, and promoted him in the sight of all his friends.
So just think about this. For some wicked Negroes to go and tell the king all that you got planned to do, and then you go to him and he greets you with, oh, hey, say, you my guy. You know that that's some BS, right? He just got through telling them about you what? Finna try to take the time. Hey, but what does he say? Verse 25 again. Certain ungodly men of the people have made complaints, even though that people have made complaints, yet the king had treated him as the predecessor had done before. Oh, don't worry about that. That's how you know it was all what? Deceit, right? Let's read on down.
Verse 27. And confirmed him in the high priesthood and in all the honors that he had before it, and gave him preeminence among his chief friends. Then Jonathan desired the king that he would make Judea free from tribute, as also the three governments, with the country of Samaria, and he promised him 300 talents.
So now the king is telling Jonathan, hey, we're going to give you 3 governments, 3 cities in Samaria, right? We're going to take away your taxes, right? He's trying to tell Jonathan, we're going to do all this for you. Just don't try to besiege us, right? Don't try to fight us. Mind you, they done seen the works of his father, right? And how he got down. They done seen the works of the hammer, Judas Maccabees, right? And how he got down. So now they're trying to avoid what? They're trying to avoid war. But they speaking to him as if, oh man, it's not a problem, right? We're going to give you this, right? We're going to give you 3 cities. We're going to not, you don't have to pay tribute any longer, right? Read on.
Verse 29. So the king consented and wrote letters unto Jonathan of all these things after this manner.
Jump down to 33.
Verse 33. We are determined to do good to the people of the Jews who are our friends.
Who are what?
Who are our friends.
They said that, yeah, we're going to do good to the Jews who are our friends, but we've been in war, right? This whole time, right? Like Jonathan said, the wars before us and behind us. But y'all talking about, yeah, our friends. Yeah, all right. That's what Jonathan looking at them like. And that's what we got to look at them like. Read.
And keep covenants with us because of their good will towards us.
So they just want us to what? Yeah, okay, we're gonna keep covenant with y'all. Yeah, God loves everybody, right? That's what they done did. They done made a covenant with the so-called Gentiles in the church, right? To now, oh, God loves everybody. Keep that same covenant. Jump down to verse 34. That's where we at.
Wherefore we have ratified unto them the borders of Judea with the 3 governments.
With the 3 cities that we giving them, read.
Of Ephraim and Lydia and Ramah. Ramathim, that are added unto Judea from the country of Samaria. And all things appertaining unto them.
Read.
For all such as do sacrifice in Jerusalem instead of the payments. Damn, my eyes bad.
You good.
Which the king received in all Jerusalem instead of the payments which the kings received of them yearly aforetime out of the fruits of the earth and of the trees.
So now he's saying that the 3 cities that we've added to you, the tribute that you don't have to pay anymore, he's just running down everything that they're trying to give us, right? To make this agreement. Read.
I got it, Rastak. Verse 35. And as for other things that belongeth unto us, of the tithes and customs pertaining unto us, as also the salt pits and the crown taxes, which are due unto us, we discharge them.
Yeah, you don't have to do that no more. Everything that y'all had to do, we discharge that now. They're trying to make this great covenant. Look at everything they're trying to do and give us because of our forefathers, Mattathias and Maccabees, how they put in work. Read.
We discharge them of them, all for their relief.
All for their relief. They saying it's all for you, Israel. This is all for y'all. Read on.
And nothing hereof shall be revoked from this time forth forever.
Forever. Let's go to Psalm 79 right quick. Because Jonathan called, what did he call? What do you call? You call BS, man. I call BS. Right? Ain't no way that these people done told you that we finna come and try to take the tower in the city back and that now you want to give me all of this? Psalm 79 and 1.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 79 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
O God, the heathen are come into thine inheritance. Thy holy temple have they defiled.
Read on.
They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. The dead bodies of thy servants have they given to be meat unto the fowls of the heaven.
This is what Jonathan is seeing. He knows this. This ain't something I'm just thinking about. I've seen this. Right? Throughout this Maccabean revolt, I've seen what the heathen have done to us. Read on.
The flesh of thy saints unto the beast of the earth.
The flesh of thy who?
The flesh of thy saints unto the beast of the earth.
The flesh of thy saints unto the beast of the earth. Read on.
Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem. And there was none to bury them.
So Jonathan is running this down. Hey, man, Lord, I've seen what they've done to us, right? Go to Psalms 74. Jump over. In 28. You want 23?
Yeah.
That's what I want. 23.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 74, and verse 23.
My bad. My eyes too. I can't read my own writing. Read.
Forget not the voice of thine enemies.
Forget not the voice of thine enemies. Every wrong thing that they've given us, every covenant they've broken and told us, everything they said that they would give us and what they didn't do. Remember the voice. Remember not the voice of the enemies. Read.
The tumult of those that rise up against thee, increase it continually.
How they've always made a tumult and rise up against us. Remember the scripture said, who has not had a part in keeping Israel down? Remember that. This is what Jonathan is doing. Jonathan is calling BS. Now go to Psalm 55. Start at verse. Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, and verse 20.
Start at verse 18.
Verse 18. He had delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me.
For the battle that was against me, there were many with me, right? Many battles, right? Read.
God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old.
Even
Salah.
them that abideth of old. Right? God is going to afflict them. Read.
Because they have no changes. Therefore, they fear not God.
Because they have no what?
No changes.
They have no what?
No changes.
There's no changes in the heathen. They can talk all this good they want to talk. You're my brother, bro. You know how they do it. We already know, right? Donuts in the lobby and whatever the case. Hey, yeah, you're my brother. There's no change in them. It's the same thing. Try to woo you over with gifts and presents, and then what? Knock you off. Soon as you turn your back, man. Read that again.
Verse 19. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old. Salah.
Because what?
Because they have no changes.
Ain't nothing changing them. Read on.
Therefore, they fear not God.
They don't fear our God, man, right? Therefore, they go lie to you. We got laws that prohibit us to lie to one another, right? They don't have that. They're going to lie because they don't fear our God, right? But we do. Read.
He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
But he has broken every covenant. Read.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
But war is always and forever continually will be in the heart and in the mouth of the heathen. Read.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
But they were drawn swords. Coming back to 1 Maccabees 11. This is the same thing Bacchus is doing. They're trying to what? Woo them over, but war is in their heart, right?
And remember, brothers and sisters, y'all have to remember it's the same tactic. It's always the same spirit. Remember, these people that were in these times, guess what? They back in the earth. They have regenerated. So that's why we see these same similar things. Even with Trump claiming a ceasefire, didn't he bomb them?
Yep.
Same particular characteristics. But people think that we crazy because the Most High God is opening up our spiritual eyes.
That's right. Read 1 Maccabees 11 and 37.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 11, verse 37. Now, therefore, see that thou make a copy of these things, and let it be delivered unto Jonathan, and set upon the holy mount, in a conspicuous place.
So a copy, what are they trying to make? They're trying to make a what? A covenant. Hey, write this down. The 3 cities that we're going to give them, they don't got to pay tribute no more. All the offerings and things that we all made them pay, they ain't got to do none of it. Make a covenant. Write it down. Take a picture. Jonathan said, I don't give a. Write it down. That's what Jonathan is saying. You can write it down all you want to, but I don't care. Because I know what y'all about. I know what y'all got going, right? Go to Exodus 23 and 32.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 32.
Jonathan knew this. Read.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Read that again.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them. Right? No covenant with them. Read.
nor with their gods.
Nor with their gods, man. Read on.
They shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee.
That's why Mattathias said, hell no, right? Not to the right or to the left. That's why Judas Maccabees went out there and became that hammer force. That's why Jonathan is now calling BS. We're back with Bacchides and them trying to now make a covenant. The Bible said, make no covenant with them. This is simple. Like we always say, this is simplicity right here. The Lord said, don't make a covenant with them. That ain't changed. But now we out here trying to what? Join hand in hand with them. Right? This is simple for the Christians to look at. Go back to First Maccabees 11 and 38. Yeah.
This book of First Maccabees chapter 11 and verse 38.
Bring it out.
After this, when King Demetrius saw that the land was quiet before him, and that no resistance was made against him, he sent away all his forces, every one to do his own place, or to his own place, except certain bands of strangers, whom he had gathered from the isles of the heathen. Wherefore all the forces of his fathers hated him.
Read on.
Moreover, there was one Tryphon.
Here we go. Moreover, there was one Tryphon, right? Tryphon, read.
That had been of Alexander's part afore, who seeing that all the hosts murmured against Demetrius, went to Salmacar, an Arabian, that brought up Antiochus, the young son of Alexander, and laid sore upon him to deliver him, this young Antiochus, that he might reign in his father's stead. He told him, therefore, all that Demetrius had done, and how his men of war were at enmity with him, and there he remained a long season.
Let's jump to, matter of fact, let's go to 2 Timothy right quick, 2 and 2. Second Timothy 2 and 2.
This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also.
So this is the same thing. The acts that we see of the forefathers, we should be able to commit these to our brothers today, right? And it should be able to do what? Put a fire under you as well, right? The same way that the brothers joined together, right? To what? Be an avenger of our nation, right? To avenge our nation, to avenge our people, is the same way that this class should be able to do to brothers and sisters today. Read on.
Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua. No man that warred entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier.
See, the only reason you won't be a soldier if you are fared with the what? Entangled with what? The cares of the world. That's the only way that you're not going to be a great soldier and put in this work like Mattathias, like Judas Maccabees, like Jonathan, and like Simon, which we're going to jump into, right? It's because it's the cares of the world that'll stop you to endure hardship as that good soldier, right? To be chosen to be that soldier that the Most High is giving you, right? Read on.
Verse 5. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
Because that's the only way. What did Mattathias say? He said, take with you what? Men that are what? Observe the law. Right? This is the only way you're going to strive for mastery is by what? Having them around you and also what? Observing the law. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 11.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 11. For they were pricked, that they should remember thy words, and were quickly saved, that not falling into deep forgetfulness, they might be continually mindful of thy goodness.
Read it again.
Verse 11 from the top. For they were pricked.
For they were pricked. What does it mean to be pricked? Pricked. You know how you prick something? Kind of wounded, right? You weren't killed. Tears of risen, yeah, but we were pricked, right? Things went sour in our lives, right? We were pricked, right? Situations happened and occurred, we were pricked. But it said they were pricked that they should remember. That's why these things happen upon us, man. That we should remember. Read it again.
Verse 11 from the top. For they were pricked, that they should remember thy words, and were quickly saved, that not falling into deep forgetfulness,
right?
They might be continually mindful of thy goodness.
Read that last part again. That not falling what?
That not falling into deep forgetfulness.
We cannot fall into deep forgetfulness, brothers and sisters. We've already did it, right? That's why it's so hard for us to come up out of this struggle that we're in, because we fell in a deep forgetfulness, man. Years. 30 years of you doing wickedness compared to 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of you now waking up. That is a deep forgetfulness. This is why we bring out these classes, right? It says that they might be continually mindful of thy goodness. What is the goodness we're talking about today? Simon. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 13.
Real quick, deep forgetfulness is what in the scriptures? Discontinue from thine heritage. We always have to learn to start lumping the precepts together.
That's right. Let's go to 1 Maccabees 13. We're going to start from the top. So we've been introduced to Mattathias being a great father and leader of the Maccabees, Judas Maccabees, right? We touched just minor on him. Jonathan came into play. Now we're finna jump into Simon, right? Which what we are dealing with today, the day of Simon.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 13, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Now when Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a great host to invade the land of Judea and destroy it, and saw that the people was in great trembling and fear, he went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together and gave them exhortation, saying, Ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary, the battles also and troubles which we have seen.
You see this? This is exactly what they did. He is exhorting them like we went to Hebrews 10, right? He's saying, remember what me and my father and my brothers did, right? Read 3 again.
Verse 3, and gave them exhortation.
Exhortation. We got to exhort one another, man. We got to exhort us to do good works. You got to exhort your sister to do good works. Maybe your sister made a mistake or something. Exhort her to do better, right? Through the scriptures. Maybe your brother fell for a minute. Exhort him to what? Get back up on that horse and be what? A just man, right? This is what now Simon is doing. Because we know now Jonathan has been captured, which we're going to read. But Jonathan has been captured, right? And now Tryphon, he's trying to take over. See, he was wicked too. He tried to take over everything, right? That's what the Edom, that's what the heathen do. They'll knock their own people off to be king, right? So now we see Tryphon trying to bring a great army against us now. Jonathan has been what? Captured, and now Simon is what? Up next. Read 3 again.
Verse 3 from the top. And gave them exhortation, saying, Ye yourselves know what great things.
You know what great things. What?
What great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary, the battles also and troubles which we have seen.
Which we have seen. Give me a precept right quick. Go to Isaiah 43. Y'all done seen what's going on. This revolt been going down. Y'all know what's popping. Y'all seen my daddy get down. Y'all seen my brothers get down. Tryphon coming, he next, right? Isaiah 43 and 26. tell you, that's what these classes is for and about. That's what these days are for. This is why the Lord wants us to celebrate these days. For scriptures like this, to do what? Read this.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 43 and verse 26. Put me in remembrance. Let us plead together.
Put us in remembrance, man. Let us plead together, man, right? That's what we're doing. That's why we came together last night, right? Had a great time before brothers and sisters had to leave, but put us in remembrance, man, that we may plead together, man. Read.
Declare thou, that thou mayest be justified.
That thou mayest be what?
Be justified.
Because if we be put in remembrance, we're going to remember those acts, and those acts of righteousness will what? Justify us. By us what? Keeping these commandments. By us coming and doing the righteous rehearsals of Day of Simon, celebrating. These acts will justify us, right? Remember, they put us in remembrance of our laws, right? What did he say in verse 3 again? He said, I gave exhortation to yourselves, know that great things I, my brethren, and my father's house have done for the laws and for the sanctuary. These laws that we are now trying to commit to one another will justify us, right? Let's go back to 1 Maccabees 13 and read 3 again.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 13 and verse 3. And gave them exhortation, saying, ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary, the battles also and troubles which we have seen, by reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake, and I am left alone.
And I am left alone. Last time we heard that, what he listened, he said, then what the Lord do? He opened the eyes of everybody, right? Showed them, and now you're not alone, right? That's what we're doing today. We're showing you. He's opening our eyes to understanding. And guess what? We don't got to have 1,000 brothers and sisters in here. We ain't got to have hundreds and 300s and 400s, right? The Lord is showing you right now, open your eyes to guess what? This is power within itself, right? Read on.
Verse 5. Now therefore, be it far from me that I should spare my own life in any time of trouble, for I am no better than my brethren.
He said, I'm going to spare my own life. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm about to die because I ain't no better than my brother. My father, I'm going to what? Be that living sacrifice for the children of Israel, right? Give me a real quick precept, James 4 and 10. He said, be it far from me that I should spare my life. Oh, because I'm the last one now? Jonathan ain't died yet, but Simon through the Spirit, he know what's up. If the heathen got my brother, they ain't finna give him back to me. They ain't finna give him back to me. As much work we done put in on these heathen, as many of them we done knocked off. Yeah, he already said, he said, but don't think that because I'm the last one, I'm finna spare my life. Try to live a good old life because of what my father and my brothers did. Now, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm finna go out swinging. Right? Read.
This is the book of James, chapter 4, and verse 10.
Bring it out.
Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up.
This is exactly what Simon did. He humbled himself. I'm finna go out the same way my brothers did, Lord. I ain't finna teeter-totter. I ain't finna try to make no excuses or anything. Go back to 1 Maccabees. Read that again.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 13, and verse 5.
Bring it out.
Now, therefore, be it far from me that I should spare mine own life in any time of trouble, for I am no better than my brethren.
I am no better than my brethren. Read.
Doubtless.
What did he say?
Doubtless.
Doubtless. We can't come into these battles with doubt, brothers and sisters. You can't come into this thing thinking that doubtful. We talked about that in a couple classes ago, right? Having that spirit of doubt on you. That's not going to get you to win these battles. When you got that spirit of doubt on you, already in a lose situation. Because you got something on you as soon as you get pricked. Oh, no, I ain't going back in that. Nah, I ain't doing that. Right? So read 6 again. Doubtless.
Verse 6. Doubtless will I avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children. For all the heathen are gathered to destroy us of very malice.
Because y'all don't know. We y'all already know. What's the precept? We don't do this for all who what? seek learning. Sirach 32, 33 and 32, I think. 32, 33, and 17. Let's read that real quick, Sirach. Let's go to Sirach.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 17.
Bring it out.
Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
For all of them that seek learning. This is what Simon is saying, right? Doubtless I will avenge my nation for the sanctuary, our wives, our children, for all that seek learning, man. Again, by default, you up in this building, you are putting these work in. It's for all them that seek learning, right? You're trying to raise up the next generation, the children, the families. That's what we're trying to put back together. Go back to First Maccabees 1 and 6 again. 13 and 6.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 13 and verse 6. Doubtless I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children, for all the heathen are gathered to destroy us with very malice. Now, as soon as the people heard these words,
as soon as they heard these words,
their spirit revived.
Their spirit revived. Those bones woke up, right? Them dry bones woke up, man. As soon as they heard this, that's why we got to exhort one another like Simon doing, man, right now, man. He went up there strong in the spirit. I ain't finna lay it down because my brother and them didn't. Doubtless, without any doubt in my mind, we finna go and we finna knock Tryphon off. I'm going to put in this work. Well, I'm going to die trying. I'm going to die trying. That's what he said. I'm going to die trying. I'm either going to put in this work or I'm going to die trying, man, just like my brothers did, man. But doubtless, you best believe that I'm going to war, right? And that's what we have to do. Go back to, matter of fact, give me a precept. Now, as soon as people heard this, the words, their spirit was revived. Give me Proverbs 15, 23. Soon as they heard these words, their spirit was revived.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, and verse 23.
Bring it out.
A man had joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season. How good is it?
How good is it? I'm talking about you finna go into war, and you heard a good word right there from Simon. Say, yeah, man, we finna put this work in, doubtless. How good is that, man? To what? Encourage you to what? Fight in that battle. Like I said, exhortation is what we need, right? How good was that word that Simon gave to his people? Because as soon as they heard it, their spirit was revived. They didn't have a sad countenance anymore. They wasn't on the if train. They didn't have the spirit of doubt on them anymore, right? Go back to First Maccabees 13. Read verse 8.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 13, and verse 8.
Bring it out.
And they answered with a loud voice, saying, Thou shalt be our leader instead of Judas and Jonathan, thy brother.
So now Simon is put to the realm. Now he's up next, right? Read.
Fight thou our battles, and whatsoever thou commandest us, that will we do. So then he gathered together all the men of war and made haste to finish the walls of Jerusalem. And he fortified it round about.
Fortify. What does he mean to fortify it? He strengthened it, right? He had men of war around and he strengthened our walls, right? Read.
Also, he sent Jonathan, the son of Absalom, and with him a great power to Joppa, who casting out them that were therein remained there in it.
Read on.
So Tryphon removed from Ptolemais with a great power to invade the land of Judea, and Jonathan was with him in war. But Simon pitched his tents at 80 over against the plain. Now when Tryphon knew that Simon was risen up instead of his brother Jonathan, and meant to join battle with him, he sent messages unto him, saying.
So Jonathan was there with Ptolemy at first, right? But now Tryphon is going to overthrow Ptolemy to be that leader. Now he's seeing that Simon, now the people done put Simon up to be that next leader, right? So now read that again.
Verse 14. Now when Tryphon knew that Simon was risen up instead of his brother Jonathan and meant to join battle with him, he sent messages unto him saying,
Read.
whereas we have Jonathan thy brother
We got your brother.
in hold, it is for money that he is owing unto the king's treasure concerning the business that was committed unto him.
We got your brother. He owe us a little money. Right? Sent that old ransom though, right? Yeah, got Jonathan. He over here. We need that cash from you though. Yeah, it's pertaining to some money, right? That's why we got him. Read.
Wherefore now send 100 talents of silver and 2 of his sons for hostages, that when he is at liberty, he may not revoke from us, and we will let him go.
And we will let him go. All right, man. Now remember, Jonathan listened to the same BS, right? Remember, they broke all their covenants. This is a hard decision for Simon to make, right? They want now 100. How many talents they said they want? 100 talents, and they want 2 hostages, his nephews, right? This is a hard situation. I'm gonna tell you, through the Spirit, you got to see this, because as leaders of congregations, we got to make hard situations, man. We got to make hard decisions, Shalakia. We got to make hard decisions on things sometimes, and it might not be as beautified as it need to be at that time, but it's the decision that we made, and sometimes they are very hard for us, man. This was a hard decision for Simon to make. Simon know that they break their treaties, that they break their covenants. Should I just say, forget it? I know they go kill my bro. I know they go kill, bro. Should I send it to him though or not? Read.
Verse 17. Hereupon Simon, albeit he perceived that they spake deceitfully unto him,
He knew it was all deceit. Read.
yet sent he the money and the children, lest peradventure,
Let's just say, read.
lest peradventure he shall procure to himself great hatred of the people.
Because the people could have said, well, they killed Jonathan because of your ass. Why you just send him the money? Why you just send him the hostages? When Simon already noted it's deceit, but he sent it anyway because, like he said, he's thinking through the Spirit, right? He had to make a decision. Read on.
Who might have said, because I sent him not the money and the children, therefore is Jonathan dead.
Read on.
So he sent them the children and 100 talents. Howbeit Tryphon disassembled, neither would he let Jonathan go.
Tryphon disassembled. He went against that. Neither would he let him go. So that means he kept the money, and what? He kept the hostages too.
And this is where brothers and sisters have to put their mindset in the mind of a leader. This is where brothers and sisters have to understand spiritual growth. Because the thing is, we may make a decision like, I don't quite understand why you said that. Well, sometimes you have to do what? Sit and meditate on why a brother may have gave specific counsel in certain instances. This is where brothers and sisters have to do their part as well. Remember, it's just not always upon the leaders. Brothers and sisters have to take account of what hard decision a leader may or may not have to make. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Go ahead.
Get this precept right quick. Nah, that's not what I want. I think it's Deuteronomy. Setting up the leaders. One and what? Let's go to Let's start at verse 12. Let's go to Deuteronomy 1 and 12 right quick. Start up at 9.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
And I spake unto you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone. The Lord your God hath multiplied you. And behold, ye are this day as the stars of heaven for multitude. The Lord God of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you.
So the Lord had what? Given us, multiplied us greatly, right? Moses is now saying, "Hey, I can't do this alone. I need a little help." Read.
Verse 11: The Lord God of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you, as he had promised you. How can I myself alone, your cumbrance of your burden and your strife,
Read on.
take you wise men and understanding, and known among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you.
So just like Mattathias, just like Judas, these were wise men, right? That the Lord made rulers over the council. Read.
And ye answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do.
And guess what? The Lord said it was good for us to do this thing, man, right? To set up leaders. Read.
So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men, and known, and made them heads over you.
And made them what?
Heads over you.
See, a lot of people can't deal with this too. A lot of people don't like to be, oh man, them niggas ain't over me. That's a regular nigga. That nigga another nigga. That's just another nigga. Right? That nigga ain't over me. But the Lord through the Spirit, man, right, did this thing. And he said it was good, right? Read.
Captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, and captains over fifties, and captains over tens, and officers among your tribes.
Read on.
And I charged your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him.
So he charged us, man. He charged the judges, right? Hear the causes between the brethren. This is a great cause of Simon having to hear right now, right? And he had to make a decision on it, right? Read verse 17.
Verse 17, ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's.
Because ultimately the judgment of your leaders is the judgment of who?
The judgment is God's.
If you trust in your leaders and your counsel, then you trust that judgment or that counsel is coming from the Most High God, right? Through the Spirit. If not, I don't know why you're there. Why are you there? If you don't believe in your leaders, if you don't believe in the counsel that they give, then why are you there? I'm just being honest. I'll tell you the truth, man. If you trust in that judgment, then you trust that judgment is from the Most High God. Read.
And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it.
So it was a cause that Simon had to make, or a judgment call that Simon had to make through the Spirit. Go back to 1 Maccabees.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 13, and verse 20.
Bring it out.
And after this came Tryphon to invade the land and destroy it, going round about by the way that leadeth unto Adora. But Simon and his hosts marched against him in every place wheresoever he went.
So Simon wasn't backing down with his hosts, with his army, right? Wherever they went, they was right there. They wasn't backing down. Read.
Now they were in the tower, sent messages unto Tryphon, to the end that he should hasten his coming unto them by the wilderness, and send them victuals.
And send them victuals, right? Read.
Wherefore Tryphon made ready all his horsemen to come that night, but there fell a very great snow.
But there fell a very great snow. They was about to go in and put in work, but it snowed real bad, right? So they couldn't. Read.
By reason whereof he came not, so he departed and came into the country of Galilee.
Galad.
Galad. And when he came near to Bascoma, he slew Jonathan, who was buried there.
So Tryphon went on and killed Jonathan, right? Seeing that Simon wasn't letting up, right? That they were still ready to put in war. He went on and killed Jonathan, his brother. Read.
Afterward, Tryphon returned and went into his own land. Then sent Simon and took the bones of Jonathan, his brother, and buried them in Modin.
Read.
The city of his fathers. And all Israel made great lamentation for him and bewailed him many days.
And like we said, when a great king or leader of Israel was fallen, they made great lamentation for him. Come on, man. That just made me hit myself in the mouth. Come on, bro. Chill out. Go ahead.
Verse 27. Simon also built a monument upon the sepulchre of his fathers and his brethren, and raised it aloft to the site, with hewn stones behind and before.
So he made a monument of the Maccabees, right? Read.
Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids, one against another, for his father and his mother and his 4 brethren.
His father, his mother, and his 4 brethren. Read.
And in these he made cunning devices, about the which he set great pillars, and upon the pillars he made all their armors for a perpetual memory.
He said he made their armor for a perpetual memory, right? So whatever he made around that time, it was to commemorate his fathers and his brothers, right? Read on, his family.
And by the armored ships carved that they might be seen of all that sailed on the sea. This is the sepulchre.
So that's how big it was that all that sailed on the sea could see it, right? Read on.
This is the sepulchre which he made at Modin, and it standeth yet unto this day.
And it standeth yet this day. Read on.
Now Tryphon dealt deceitfully with the young king Antiochus and slew him.
So you see, Tryphon, he ain't trying to hear it. He trying to be head heathen, right? He trying to be HH. Right? He done slew Antiochus, man. Read.
And he reigned in his stead and crowned himself king of Asia.
That's what they want to do. They'll knock out their own people, right? To get into where they want to get. Read.
And brought a great calamity upon the land. Then Simon built up the strongholds in Judea and fenced them about with high towers and great walls and gates and bars and laid up victuals therein.
Bring it out.
Moreover, Simon chose men and sent to King Demetrius to the end he should give the land of immunity, because all that Tryphon did was to spoil.
He said that he should give the land immunity, right? Read on.
Because all that Tryphon did was to spoil. To whom King Demetrius answered and wrote after this manner: King Demetrius and Simon, the high priest and friends of kings, as also unto the elders and nations of Jews, sending greetings.
Read on.
The golden crown and the scarlet robe which he sent unto us, we have received, and we are ready to make a steadfast peace with you. Yea, and to write unto our officers to confirm the immunities which we have granted. And whatsoever covenants we have made with you shall stand, and the strongholds which ye have builded shall be your own.
So Demetrius is now coming with what? Truth, right? Now they are making covenants, right, for us because of what we did, how Simon has now stood still and has been strong and put in work and fought the wars for us. Read.
As for any oversight or fault committed unto this day, we forgive it, and the crown tax also, which ye owe us. And if there were any other tributes paid in Jerusalem, it shall no more be paid. And look who are meet among you to be our court. Let them be enrolled, and let there be peace betwixt us.
Read on.
Thus the yoke of the heathen was taken away from Israel.
Read that again.
Thus the yoke of the heathen was taken away from Israel in the 107th year.
In the 170th year, the yoke was taken from Israel, right? Read.
Then the people of Israel began to write in their instruments and contracts in the first year of Simon, the high priest, the governor and leader of the Jews.
Now we were writing and making contracts now, right? Now we were making what? We were keeping checks and balances, right? Yeah, read on.
In those days, Simon camped against Gaza and besieged it round about. He made also an engine of war and set it by the city and battered a certain tower and took it.
Read on.
And they that were in the engine leaped into the city.
So it was some form of engine, like we said, we always talk about it, where it like throws it like flings you, right? It's like a catapult you, right? Great word. Read on.
Whereupon there was a great uproar in the city. And so much as the people of the city rent their clothes and climbed upon the walls with their wives and children, and cried with a loud voice, beseeching Simon to grant them peace.
Read. So now you have everybody in that city now want to what? Comply, right? Basically. Now they climbing walls. They want to comply to Simon. They've heard about the goodness. They've seen King Demetrius now make all these covenants towards us and give us what? This basically freedom right now, right? Read.
Verse 46, and they said, deal not with us according to our wickedness, but according to thy mercy.
So now they're pleading. This is a plea now from these brothers and sisters. Don't deal with us according to our wickedness, but deal with us within mercy. Read.
So Simon was appeased towards them and fought no more against them, but put them out of the city.
Hey, but you still got to go. Yeah, I can love you from a distance. Yeah, I can hear you from here. What'd you say? I said, I can hear you from here. Yeah. Yeah, but go over there, and I can hear you from here. Read.
And cleansed the houses wherein the idols were.
Uh-huh.
And so entered into it with songs and thanksgiving.
Because I'm going to tell you, you have to do that, man. Right? People are going to have to set up themselves and strengthen themselves in order to come abroad. The scriptures say you got to mark them, right? And sometimes you got to avoid them. Like he said, he marked them. Simon marked them at that time. Okay, I'm going to deal with y'all in mercy. But I marked you, and you got to be over there with it, though, right? Read.
Yea, he put all uncleanness out of it, and placed such men there as would keep the law, and made it stronger than it was before, and built therein a dwelling place for himself.
He made it stronger. How did he make it stronger? What did he do? He just said it. What did he do to make it stronger? Say what? Set up men that kept the law. We're not playing no games. You brothers, you're out of here, right? Y'all teeter-tottering. Y'all got a little shake. You're shaky. Like we said, you're shaky. We're gonna get you out of here. We're gonna get guys that's known to keeping the law. Go ahead.
Even like Ak is going over with the scriptures, remember, it takes a nation of us. It takes a congregation of people to do what? To instill God's laws back into us. Because now we can start to see a good report of brothers and sisters that have good patterns of work. Once that is set in place, is on a good foundation, then brothers and sisters can see that. And that is something great to mimic after. So it takes all of us to do this. That's why we be on all brothers and sisters, man. All of us, man. Leaders as well, man.
Read verse 48 again. Verse 48. Yea, he put all uncleanness out of it, and placed such men there as would keep the law, and made it stronger than it was before, and built therein a dwelling place for himself.
Read. Let's go to Proverbs 13 and 20 right quick. We almost out of here, family. Proverbs 13 and 20.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 20.
Bring it out.
He that walketh with wise men shall be wise.
So when you surround yourselves with wise men or women, you have no choice but to get wise, right? Read.
But a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
But a companion of fools shall be destroyed. This is why Simon said, yeah, y'all got to get out of here, right? Because I will be a fool to let y'all still stay here, and y'all are what? Y'all still shaky. So I'm going to put wise men around me, and I'm going to put y'all out of here because I don't want to be destroyed, right? Give me one more precept. What's another way that you strengthen? What's the strength of Israel? The law. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 15. 56. So he strengthened it.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 56. The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law.
Read on.
But thanks be to God, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua.
But that's how we get the victory, through the strength of the law. This is how Tryphon and Bacchias and all of them got knocked off because of the law. Remember, read 56 again.
Verse 56 from the top. The sting of death is sin.
But the what?
And the strength of sin is the law.
That's our strength. That's how he strengthened it, by putting all wise men and law keepers around him, and those who were not, that were what? Lukewarm, he took out, right? Read on.
Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable.
No, I want 57.
Oh, verse 57, Shalaki. But thanks be to God, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua.
But that's how we get the victory, through the law. Do y'all understand that? The strength of sin is the law, and that's how the Lord gives us that victory. You're going to win by keeping the law. If you think you won a battle and you went to that old man and that old woman with it, think again. You lost. You're going to get that victory through keeping the law, right? Go back to First Maccabees 13 and 49.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 13 and verse 49. They also of the tower in Jerusalem were kept so straight that they could neither come forth nor go into the country, nor buy, nor sell. Wherefore they were in great distress for wants of victuals.
So he shut them down. They couldn't even come in and buy and sell. He put them in distress now, right? Read.
And a great number of them perished through famine.
And guess what? That was the point. That those wicked ones would perish, right? Read on.
Then cried they to Simon, beseeching him to be at one with them, which thing he granted them. And when he had put them out from thence, he cleansed the tower from pollutions, and entered into it the 23rd day of the second month, and the 170, God, I can't even say 70 and first year.
So today is what? Today is the 23rd day of the second month. Today is the 23rd day of the second month, right? According to our calendar. Yeah, we know it say May, what's today? May, what they say, May 8th, May 9th, May 10th. But with our calendar, it is the 23rd day of the second month. Y'all understand that? Come. Read on.
Verse 51. And entered into it the 23rd day of the second month, in the 171 year, with thanksgiving and branches of palm trees, and with harps and cymbals, and with violins or vowels, and hymns and songs, because there was destroyed a great enemy out of Israel.
So it's a great joyous day that we must have, right? This is a joyous occasion that we must have for our brother Simon, for the works that he put in, putting all the heathen in submission around this time. Read.
He ordained also that day should be kept every year with gladness. Moreover,
with what?
With gladness.
So this day should be set every year with gladness. Everybody hold their face up. Smile. Smile. Gladness. Yay. Yay. But we got to be excited about it, man, right? Got to be with gladness. We got to be happy about this thing. This is a great day that Simon and his brethren did for us, and this day is given by the Most High God to celebrate. Go ahead.
Tell him, Mark, don't be like Angry Man off of Martin.
Man, sit your down. But I ain't got time for Richard Roundtree over there, man. Looking like Jim Kelly. Yeah, but we got to be glad, man. Everybody need to have their hearts merry, man. Your hearts need to be merry, man. As today is a great day that the Lord gave us, man, right? Also a 7-day Sabbath that he gave us as well, huh? So we must be enthused about this, of what our brother Simon did. This is why we celebrate the day of Simon. Finish this off.
He ordained also that day should be kept every year.
How long?
Every year.
Yeah. See, if you missing this, you missing your law. If you don't have the apocrypha, you missing. You out here acting, you bad. Because you lacking. You only got a piece of it. He ordained this to be forever. Read it again.
He ordained also that day should be kept every year with gladness.
With what?
With gladness.
That's the point. Read.
Moreover, the hill of the temple that was by the tower, he made stronger than it was. And there he dwelt himself with his company.
Read on.
And when Simon saw that John, his son, was a valiant man, he made him captain over all the host, and he dwelt in gospel.
So today, we celebrate the day of Simon. We celebrate the Maccabean revolt. We celebrate Mattathias, Judas Maccabees, his son, all of his sons, Jonathan, and Simon, for the acts that they did for the children of Israel, man. Like we said, had it not been for these acts, who knows if the children of Israel will have the remembrance that we have right now, right? To continue and put in these great works for a nation that's sick, man. Right? For this nation that's not desired, man. I'll pray this to the Most High God for this lesson today. I pray brothers and sisters were edified. I know we did a lot of reading. It was kind of long, brothers and sisters, but I pray that we were edified into understanding what we are doing and why we are doing it, right? We always say keep the laws of the Most High God. So we're going to leave you with a law. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 46.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 46.
Bring it out.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
What is the day? The curses shall be upon you for a sign and for a wonder to identify you as those children of the seed of the promise. Read.
And upon thy seed forever.
For how long?
Forever.
This is why. Read on.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
We saw that this law or this day was instituted with what? With gladness, right? We read that a few times. This 23rd day of the second month was instituted for us to keep the day assignment with joyfulness in our heart and great gladness. All praises to the Most High God for this lesson. I pray, brothers and sisters, have a great Shabbat, rest of the Sabbath. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in online. Thank you for the GoFundMe, the Cash App. If y'all have sent money for the uplifting of this kingdom, that money is being used for what? Pushing this truth, man, right? Being vessels fitted for destruction. With that, we say shalom.